We do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
right. Welcome to another week of Manifestations Podcast 2020. So give it up to everybody doing a great thing, doing a hellified job this week. I know it was a nice little week before everybody go back to school next week. So definitely shout out to all the parents out there trying to get everything done. Definitely a great shout out to my boy B. Lee doing a hell of a job in Miami Gardens, working with a lot of Miami Gardens officials, getting free book bags out to the children so that way they could be prepared. As you guys know, the economy has changed a little bit different. So with the economy changing a little bit, we have people out here that are struggling because we have inflation, but you already know that when it comes to jobs, they don't increase the rates right away. That is suffice enough for people to live during this time. So things have gotten a little bit more tight. They were tight before, and they actually got a little bit more tight, even to the point where some people are relocating. So just the little things of getting book bags, pencils, sharpeners, erasers, just getting the essential needs for our children to go back to school, and for him to give away so much book bags. And shout out to all the sponsors that's out there that's doing their thing, that helped along with it. I don't know all the sponsors that's behind B. Lee, but I do know Kitchen, which is a great friend of B. Lee. He's also Fat and Funny if you guys follow him on Instagram. Very dope dude, very good comedian. And also my boy that I grew up with, before he even started his business, I remember he told me, he said, man, I feel like I should do a t-shirt business. And I was doing the little t-shirts myself, but he wanted to take something like that to another level. And I was like, yo, do it. And now he has a phenomenal storefront over there in Miami Gardens. As you guys know, it's Achilles Apparel. You might see me with it on here and there, but he's definitely doing dope things. You guys could follow him at Achilles on Instagram. And that's my boy Randy, phenomenal Zoe family, you know what I mean, doing his thing and doing it big. And he's always been a part of the sponsorship and helping the children out. They just have a great trio over there at B. Lee and his friends, man. They do phenomenal job, man. And my hats and everything go out to those guys for always trying to build a legacy and making things better for other people, especially when a lot of people don't step up and do what we do. We know that's Alkebulan work. And, my gratitudes and hats go off to them for doing it for multiple years. So, yeah, I definitely want to give that shout out, man. Doing a hellified job. I do want to give one more shout out. I do want to give a shout out to our Aquaman swimmer. I say, you know what I'm saying? The gods of Ogun, my boy Aaron, that's his name. The young kid who swam across to whoop some ass. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to give him a shout out for being such a phenomenal inspiration to grown folks. A lot of grown folks that we had out here that really didn't have the energy or even the spirit or the confidence to go out there and handle business when they see one of our folks getting brutally beaten by some racists. And just having that instinct to jump off the boat, willing to risk his life because you don't know what's in the waters, but he wasn't even thinking about that. All he saw was his fellow comrade being beat by some racists, and he was going over there to assist it. And they have a new name, Aquaman, for him, and I think it's a very great name for him. One of our young superheroes, and I hope that he continues this and build on this legacy run. And just a phenomenal guy from what I heard. And I've watched a couple of his videos and seen some of his posts. So he's very unapologetic and is up to lingo and understands how powerful the unity is and brotherhood is. So definitely wanted to give a shout out to Aquaman, aka Aaron, for doing his phenomenal legacy swim across and letting people know you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
Time for Scuba Gooden Jr.
And it's Aquaman.
Aquaman. Okay, Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
All right, Aquaman.
All right.
All right, that's what's
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so definitely, man, we have a great episode for you guys this week. I think it's a very important one. When we talk about men, we don't really talk much about the health and the wealth that come along with men. I know in the health realms, a lot of times people look at Black men especially and say we don't take care of ourselves, our bodies, and things like that. And just to have this special guest with us to try to show people that we need to go out here and do some healthy routines and take control of our lives. And this gentleman has been doing a very phenomenal job. I've been following him for a long time. and the work that he puts in with people, and the results he gets, man, it's just phenomenal. I'm gonna show you guys in later on in the show, but when I tell you, I always tell people whenever I see women come on live or I see stories about women jumping on tables and doing the whole BBL, and I see them risking their lives, and it's so unfortunate. We have so many sisters, so many queens that went to go get the BBLs and they never left off the table, meaning that they ended up in a body bag, not going back home to their loved ones. I remember one lady had she had 3 children, lost her life, and those children, they saw their mother leave, and now they don't see their mother returning. So we don't want women to endanger their lives. It's bad enough in the health field. Black women, you guys are being targeted the most. There's a lot of issues that go on in the medical field. And I told you guys before, this is one of the top 3 books of all time that you guys need to get out there. Please, if you can, get this book. Ladies, I know y'all like to read and like to read Zane books and Jerome Dickey books, but you could put one of those books down to the side and read this book. You know what I'm saying? It's a very thick book, but it's very great content when it comes to the medical realm of what Black women have been dealing with for centuries, the horrificness that goes on in the medical field. But the point I wanted to make is that we're trying to be out here as men to help protect you in the process as well. So by doing that, we want to educate you and try to find more solution-based efforts that you guys can use that are more harmless than harmful. And this gentleman right here has been doing so much phenomenal work. You would think that the women that went to him and got their fitness program and journeyed with him, you would have thought they came off of the table, and they didn't. It's all natural and it's all good. And one of the things that I think is so powerful when you do the physical work yourself, when you have a personal trainer that is en route with you and helping you get to that journey, is that a lot of women don't want to admit that even when you get the BBLs, you still got to work out. So it's like you're paying to get something done, to get the results done, and then you still have to put in the extensive workout that you would have had to put in before. So you're basically on the same wavelength, because if you don't do the workout, then you're going to end up losing the money, the body that you paid for, and it's going to go back to its original shape. So we definitely want to talk about that, the diet and the eating and all these other things that go along with it. So no further ado, I want to present to you guys D ICAM Fitness to y'all. Give it up for D. Doing a phenomenal job out here.
What's happening?
I'm D.
All right, so that's the stuff. So yeah, D, go ahead and explain to the people who you are. Some people are not familiar with who you are and the work that you do, but you could definitely let them know who you are and what you do.
Dietrich, or D, preferred to be called Dietrich. I'm the CEO, head trainer of ICAN Fitness. We have 2 locations. One location located in Miami Gardens off of 183rd and 47th Ave, or 4888 Northwest 183rd Street. And we have a second location conveniently right here off of Commercial and University, which is Lauderhill. That's 5458 North University, Lauderhill, Florida. I'm a certified trainer. I was certified by NASM, or the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I'm a personal trainer, a group trainer. I'm CPR certified, performance enhancement specialist, as well as the basic nutrition. I've been training myself since around 2004, and I'm what you consider a master trainer with the amount of years I have put on. You can follow me on Instagram at That Dude Fit. That's THATDUDE Fit FIT, as well as Facebook, Dietrich Harrington. You can find me on those 2 places mostly. Pretty much that sums up a personal part of me. And we can get on with it.
That's what's up. Damn, you got a lot of accolades over there, man. You've been doing the work. I didn't even know you put in all that work. Now, when it comes to CPR, is that something that you wanted to do? Is that something that actually helps you out in your journey of what you do?
I mean, it's something that majority of personal trainers should have. I would say all, because you never know what can happen in any given moment in any training situation, whether we're inside doing strength training or we're outside doing cardio. People have backgrounds, and you, like I say, you never can know, especially when you're dealing with the heart and not knowing what each individual may have consumed or taken on a daily basis. Because like even now, if I don't want to get into it, but like a lot of people take energy drinks, C4s, and things like that, and anything can happen at any given moment. So I highly recommend and suggest that, any personal trainer definitely have that CPR, AED training.
So have you, in your long term of doing this, have you ever had a case where you had to kick in and use CPR on anybody?
Not necessarily CPR, but of course, because I've been doing this for almost 20 years, we've had situations where we may have had someone passed out or other situations similar to that, but nothing where nobody needed a CPR.
Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. So definitely, I know, Bobby, you had a couple of questions that you wanted to ask him. I think we could go off and get off in those questions. Did you want to ask them, or did you want me to ask them? It's up to you. But I know those are your questions.
No, I did have a few. A couple others might pop out through the course of the conversation. But great to meet you, brother.
Likewise.
The first question I wanted to ask you is, because I know a lot of people when it comes to talking about fitness and exercise. And if you've been in the game for almost 2 decades, then I know you probably, if you had a penny for every time you heard this, you'd probably be out there in the Hamptons somewhere. But people saying, well, Dietrich, I want to exercise and stuff, but I ain't got the time. I can't be in the gym 8 days a week, 28 hours out the day. I can't do all that. So, what would you say is the minimum amount of time per week that the average person needs to commit to in order to be in healthy, good shape and to fend off a lot of these issues and stuff that people are dealing with health wise?
Well, the general recommendation is probably around about 2 hours and a half moderate intensity, activity, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity, if you want a little bit harder. But you want to spread that throughout the week. So it's not something that you can do in one day, 2 days. It's something that you want to, do over the course of the week. So you do that along with muscle strengthening activities, and you pretty much will reach your goal. So I would say, about to sum it up, about 30 minutes of exercises 4 to 5 days a week, and you would be fine, And that's pretty much based on your fitness level and goal as well. Some of us can go a little bit longer than others, but I would say the average is, and which is what I try to get my clients to do, is to train at the minimum 4 days a week. And you could do that.
That's minimal.
If you, like you say, you talk about time and being pressed. A lot of times you can make your home the gym if you have to. It's really about whether you want it or you don't. Like it's been raining. We had a rainy past couple of weeks. We wasn't able to get outside and hit the pavement, but it was other things that you could have did at home, whether it was jump rope, jumping jacks. You got other factors. You got kids, things like that. Hey, I'm at the park with my son, football practice. Why not walk a mile while I'm at practice? I can't use that as an excuse to why, I'm not getting the work put in. Because at the end of the day, health is wealth, and we, want to be here much longer. We can determine if we're gonna be here a lot longer based upon how much work we put in. So if you tell me I put in 30 minutes 4 to 5 times a week, and my life expectancy is another 10 years, I know I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Solid. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it sounds like what brother's saying is that it come down to prioritization.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we honest, a lot of us out here, when it comes down to health and things that have to do with looking after our bodies in the proper manner, we prioritize everything else.
Yeah.
You dig? And that's like on the back burner. I ain't got time for that. But you got time to be at the strip club for hours on end. You know what I'm saying? You got time to, be out, taking your family and yourself to go get fast food, and just doing other things. I think, that our brother will probably agree are not productive and not, something that's going to benefit our bodies. We make time for all those things,
You,
but
you
we
got
never
one
seem to
body.
have time for the gym.
You got one body. Feel me? That's all you got.
Real
You
talk.
people who have cars and they take care of their cars a lot more than they do their bodies. You know,
Mm,
you got to take your car. You got to take care of your car. You got to change the oil. We wash our cars. We vacuum it. You got people who take time put wax on it. Your body is no different. You got to make
mm,
sure you take care of it. You take care of it, it take care of you. No different than that vehicle. We don't do those things to our vehicle stays sick. It's not going to move. Same
mm.
thing with your body. You got to take care of your body. Take care of your body, then it will work for you. So that's important.
Real talk.
Definitely.
Bob,
Very,
you had
very
another
true.
question? I got a couple too. So,
Yeah, Bobby got two more, and
Uh,
then you could go
go
ahead
ahead,
next
Bob.
after that.
yeah, real quick to tack onto that, I want to say that in terms of your health, that's the one area that you really can't afford to take any shortcuts on. Our
Nah.
bodies are very forgiving. Some of us
Hmm.
have better genes than others, so some of us can get away with a little more, some of us can get away with a little less. But our bodies are a bank account, and if you keep
Mm,
on running up down that balance, at some point, the bill's gonna have to come due. I
Yep.
recall a sister some years ago. She's one of these super women chicks trying to do everything. She had a full time job. She was working. She was in a master's program, and she was doing side gigs on the weekend. And I remember she was complaining to me one day about how tired and how exhausted she is. She knows her blood pressure's up, and I said, "Look, you're doing way too much. You're gonna have to cut something loose because
Yep.
you can't keep running at this pace that you had. You're gonna say if you don't do something soon, your body's gonna eventually make a choice for you. You're not gonna like the results." And she was like, "Yeah, you're right, but I just a little bit longer now. I'll be done, and it won't be as stressful." And I kid you not even a week later, I find out Shorty in the hospital, she literally collapsed on her job.
Mm,
And they had to keep her in the hospital for several days for observation because they said her blood pressure, her stress was through the friggin' stratosphere.
mm,
Hmm.
And she ended up missing too many days from her program. It's one of those intensive programs. She had to drop out of that. So she completely missed that. Had to take a whole lot of sick time off of work to cover that she didn't really have that she can afford to spend. And of course, she wasn't getting those gigs on the weekend, and so she ended up taking a huge hit. And I didn't want to be there. I told you so, guy. But I'm like, I told you, at some point, your body's gonna make a choice. If you keep on abusing yourself, your body's gonna make a pimp decision. So
Yeah.
a lot of people going through that. You gotta choose. Nothing's more important than your health. If you ain't running properly, nothing else gonna run properly.
Well, this is a little saying like either you're gonna pay for it now, or you're gonna pay for it now with sweat, or you're gonna pay for it later at the doctor with your health care. So,
mm,
I mean, I'd rather do it now. There's a lot of programs out. Like I say, you got online programs, you got gyms pretty much popping up everywhere. You got boutique studios like myself that cater to the clients. So it's a lot of different ways to get it done. It's up to the individual too. And a lot of times people not looking at the statistics or not knowing what's going on, especially with us being African American. We already suffer with things, that other races don't. Some of the health and conditions that associated with us, especially with if you got low physical activity, is obesity. You got the type 2 diabetes. We got heart disease, lower life expectancy, as well as things like colon cancer. So it's very important that us as African Americans definitely exercise. So that's what you were trying to, get to her. Like, hey, you need to exercise, you need to rest. Pair that with proper nutrition. Like, you have to take care of yourself ultimately. At the end of the day, nobody else gonna do
Right.
it. You got to do it. There's one thing that you have to do, and nobody else can do.
yes, definitely.
Absolutely. So actually, bringing up nutrition, that brings us to the second question because people usually tend to
focus on one or the other. They either focus on the exercise and leave out the nutrition, or they focus on the nutrition and forget the exercise. But you need both, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's,
what I want to know is, what 3 items, if you had to just think off the top of your head, what 3 items do people most need to cut out of their diets, and what 3 things do they need to add to it or need to have more of in their diet?
all right. So 3 things to that I would say that they would need to cut out of their diet are sugary beverages, highly processed food, and then things that excessive added sugar. And I'll go into each one just so you can get a base understanding of what I'm saying. Sugary beverages include drinks like sodas, so drinking those Minute Maid, strawberries, and the Jamaican colas that Ant like. I know my boy Ant had one of them Jamaican colas every
Bro, why you gotta
My
do it
dog getting
like that,
called out.
man? Come
yeah,
on,
you
you gotta
feel
bring
me?
the culture every
They
Ah.
he called out the DNG. Oh
Yeah.
nah.
You got the
Oh Lord.
You got your
Nice.
energy. You got energy drinks, sweetened teas, and fruit juices with a lot of added sugars. So
Okay.
most of these contribute to a bunch of empty calories that you add into your diet every day, and they don't provide no essential nutrition. So what you should opt for instead of those sugary beverages are water, herbal teas, and drinks without added sugars, so they do have juices that don't have it. Myself, it's recommended that we drink half our body weight in water every day. So
Mm,
I weigh about 214. Right now I consume about 120 ounces a day. I mean, you
mm,
have to figure out what works best for you in that aspect. For me, as soon as I wake up, I drink a bottle of water, and I try to drink a bottle of water every hour and a half to 2 hours. I know
mm,
it, can become a problem because you're gonna feel like you're constantly running to the bathroom,
mm,
but it's something that we have to do. Once again, it's something you must do. You gotta drink.
mm,
You gotta drink your water. The body is made up a high percentage of water. So
mm,
the number 2 thing was the highly processed food. That's sugary snacks like gummy bears, Mike and Ike's, things like that. Fast food, your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, pre-packaged convenient meals. Because we live in a time right now where everybody want everything in an instant. So you
Hmm.
got instant noodles, you got frozen meals. Like I said, mentioned the McDonald's.
mm.
Sugary cereal. Fruity Pebbles my favorite. Hey, it is. However, I do understand. Hey, and then things like white bread. So
Yeah.
all of those things usually contain high levels of sugar, unhealthy fat, and sodium. And once again, they lack essential nutrients. So
Mm,
it's best if you choose whole processed foods like for breads, whole grains, fresh fruits, vegetables, your proteins. Your proteins consist of chicken, fish, turkey, lean beef, uh, like I said, any type of white fish, nuts. All these things contribute to you having a healthier diet or lifestyle. And the last thing is probably like excessive sugar, which is, it come in the same form of cookies, crackers, yogurts, candy. We mentioned some of those things with the processed food, but
mm,
those would be the 3 things that you need to cut out your diet. And the things you need to add is once again the vegetables, the fruits, the proteins, things like that. It's not to say that we can't have some of those things. It's just to have some of those bad things in moderation. At the end of the day, none of us is perfect, and I wouldn't tell you to cut something not completely, because if I tell you to cut something not completely, then you end up overindulging it at some time. So
mm.
it's a step by step process. If every week you start eliminating 1 or 2 things, then ultimately you will be where you need to be at in about 6 to 8 weeks as far as fixing your nutrition. So once again, everything is individual, so it varies. So it's always a good thing to consult with a healthcare professional or nutritionist for personalized advice. So that I will throw that out there. So a lot of people tend to look online and things like that, but it are actually people who went to school and studied it So, I mean, if you can see that person.
Mm, definitely.
Absolutely. And just some free advice. I don't know if people actually look at some of their insurance packages, especially if they work for jobs that have insurance built in. But sometimes people just sign on the dotted line, or sometimes it just comes as a part of. They don't really check it out. But in a lot of insurance plans, you know, dietitians are listed in there. You can go ahead and you can use your insurance plan to go and see if there's any nutritionists or dietitians that are under your plan, and you can go sit there and talk to them. They can let you know, all right, this is what you need to do. This is a meal plan. This is the kind of food you need to start eating, and they can kind of go ahead and game you up right there and kind of coach you into how you can go ahead and get some better food going, what you need to eat for you that's going to bring the best you out. So
Yeah,
take advantage of those things. It's
definitely.
in a sense it's free money because the healthier you are, that's less work you got to do later on down the line to maintain whatever benefits you got for your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Health is
third
wealth.
last question I got for you, brother, is and especially with almost 20 years experience, I know you probably got a whole
Mhm.
treasure chest full of these, but what are some of the biggest myths and misconceptions about fitness that you've bumped into, that you have had to address or correct people on?
The number one would probably be spot reduction. That's what I get most of my calls or DMs, emails in reference to someone calling basically or texting saying, "Hey, I just want to work on my stomach and my butt," or something like that, which is basically them believing that they can target fat loss from specific areas of their body. In reality, overall body fat reduction comes through a combination of you eating properly, you strength training, and you doing cardio exercises. So you can't just target target a certain area and expect to see results in just that area. It's
Mm.
about lowering your body fat, like I said, having a proper nutrition. So that's definitely number one. Number two would probably be like the no pain, no gain theory. Most people think that workouts need to be extremely intense or painful to be effective. And some people feel like if they don't feel sore, that they didn't accomplish anything. So but you shouldn't always feel sore when you work out because it could be a sign of an injury. So, or if you're having any discomfort. So, yeah, it's gonna be times where we sore because the most people don't understand the process. When you lift it, you're actually tearing down your muscles and they grow back stronger and tighter. So that's what we're doing. We're exercising. We're tearing down our muscles and they grow back stronger and tighter. But you don't have to push yourself too hard to where you're injured, or if you're not sore, you think you didn't do anything. In reality, you did do something. So, uh, number three would probably be eating less, thinking they're gonna get faster results, or skipping meals to lose weight. Uh, Starving yourself or restricting your calories can definitely be harmful. Your body needs the proper nutrition to function optimally. And if you're doing like any crash type diets, or things like that, you're actually hurting yourself and negatively impacting your metabolism, which will actually lead to overeating later. Which is why I said, hey, if I take everything away from you, at some point you might start back eating this, and then you just gonna keep eating it. You're gonna eat more and more and more. So it's best to eat balanced meals and eating regular. Which is why we tell you you need to eat 4 to 5 balanced meals per day you
Mm,
know, and that'll help with you managing your weight as well as your energy levels. Because it's almost like a lot of people I do encounter when I ask them how many times they eat a day, you wouldn't be surprised that the answer is one.
mm,
What?
Yes, they would say, I might snack, but I eat one huge meal. And these people, I'm not talking about a
Wow.
person of 27. I'm talking about some people like pushing 300 to some. What happens is you have to
Wow.
definitely understand a body. We all learned in elementary at some point about a bear during the winter, how they hibernate and how they stock up on food to get them through the winter. Well, that's kind of like what's happening when a person only eat one meal a day, or if you're not eating the 4 or 5 meals, so let's take it to 2 meals. What happened is your body stores that food, and it don't know when to burn it off because it don't know when you're going to feed it again. So when you hear that term, metabolism, that's why you hear people say you put your metabolism out, because you're only eating twice a day. Your metabolism stays slow because your body has to store this food. It's not going to use it for energy because it don't. Once, like I said, once again, it don't know when you're going to feed it. But if you're eating the 4 or 5 times a day, your body can now say, okay, I can use this as fuel. I can use this as fuel because I know Aunt gonna give me, a Jamaican patty later on. Feel me, like, or whatever it is, he gonna definitely, he gonna feed me. So it uses his energy. So you definitely have to eat 4 to 5 times a day to lose weight. You know, uh, and the last one I say is, supplements for instant results. Like I say, we live in this society where everybody want everything right now. So they believe that they can, do supplements and they can replace a healthy diet. And although they can aid in your efforts, they are not a magic solution and they should be used wisely. So, they got the teas, the detox teas, and a lot of different products out there. You got the girls wearing the waist shapers and they thinking that, these things alone will help them. But the truth is, you can use those as aids to help you, but ultimately to get the results and to have a healthier lifestyle, you got to definitely eat properly. You got to work out. You got to do some form of cardiovascular activity.
It is. Okay.
I did want to say you said the waist trainers.
The waist
Now,
trainer.
do you see a lot of women using it obsessively, like out too much, like it's part of their body? Is that
Um,
because I heard
it,
it crushes ribs and stuff like that? Is that correct?
it's a great deal of women who use them. They swear by them. Some it's just what each individual use them for. Some are great support for your core. Your core consists of your front abdominals as well as your lower back. So some of them wearing it for support of their back. Some of them think that wearing it flattens their stomach, but in reality, it's the work they putting in and do it. To go off of what you meant as far as uh, crushing their ribs or whatever, I mean that pretty much go back to whatever centuries ago. And that's a certain type of waist shaper. That's the one with the little clips and shit that kind of excuse my language, that they gotta
The
like kind of
Velcro.
tighten up real
Yeah,
tight. And
yeah.
what it, I'm not the scientist or whatever behind that, but basically it kind of shifted their organs around, and that led to health issues, which is when you remember back in the Wild Wild West, you remember that all the ladies had the bustiers on with the umbrella and shit back then,
Hmm.
and they didn't have the medicine and stuff that we have now, so they was having a lot of casualties wearing those things. So basically, a lot of women are wearing those. You could call them shapeshifters, or what I'm saying. Those
Hmm.
waist trainers are shapeshifters to to give you illusion of what their body's supposed to be. So I mean, I don't recommend them. Especially those. Like I said, if it's for to help with their lower back or aid for those things, or to even boost, some it can give a boost of confidence. By
Hmm.
all means, wear it, but do their homework on that particular product. So,
Definitely. Thanks for that. That's very informative. Because I'm tired of
I always, hey, listen, I always try to tell the ladies that, I mean, I think we as guys want flat stomachs too. So, but we ain't wearing them. You would think that we'll be wearing them too then.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I have seen some guys wear it, but hey,
Hey, I'm just tired of the guys complaining about women that they meet, and then when they take them home, then they just let it all out, and it's a whole different woman. So definitely, just
hey,
go out there, do the
those
work, and
ladies
everything
need to
like
come,
that.
they need to come,
Uh,
definitely come see me at I Can Fitness. I say that.
Definitely. Before we switch it over to Major, go ahead and hit the like button. Got everybody in here. Hit the like button real quick, and I'm gonna turn it over to Major. Major, you got your questions ready?
Yeah, man. You already know. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
Interestingly enough, he actually mentioned something I wanted to ask him about before.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, something that is, I think, pretty widespread. Our brother Kevin Samuels transitioned not too long ago, RIP to the great. And,
Mm-hmm.
people always mention, how they always saw him with a can of Red Bull on set when he was doing his show.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned something about energy drinks in there. Now, I know that there are, as you mentioned, some of them that are very sugary and very problematic, but are there any of them that are good, or are they all just trash? Or, how does that work with the energy drinks? And if they don't work for us in our favor, what's a good alternative for people, that feel like they need a little boost to get in the gym? What's a good alternative way for them
But
to get that boost?
most of those products, I can't, really speak on them in a whole. Well, I speak on them in a whole, but not individualized. A lot of them just it's just what they contain. Whether it's sugar, caffeine. So the
Yeah.
main ingredient is pretty much caffeine. I mean, if you can strip down and get your caffeine at the basis, like even a cup of coffee, is once you start adding the sugar, the cream, and all that stuff, that's
Mm,
when you're adding on to it, which now make it more harmful to your body than it was before.
mm,
Um, so anything that you can take that has caffeine at its purest form or closest is something that you can, take. So like I said, a cup of black coffee that has caffeine, because it don't matter what the supplements is when we're going into these GNCs and places like that.
mm,
You got your C4s, your Red Bull. It has caffeine, and that's
mm,
the main ingredient that they're using for the source of energy. But I mean, we know proper nutrition, getting your fruits, once again, your vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Making sure you consuming the things that you need, exercising. Because if you exercise, your energy levels are going to become better, you know.
mm.
So yeah, definitely.
Now, to
So
just
I would say it like this: you want to look
okay,
for one that has less sugar and get it as close as natural as you can.
okay, okay. Now, just a piggyback to that question, because a lot of there's also, maybe this is a myth, I don't know. They also say that caffeine is bad for you. Is caffeine also in too high of a dosage, or too much? If you
I
ingest
would
too much
say
of it, is that bad?
Yeah, I would say too much of it would definitely be bad. So you definitely have to know how much it is, and once again, that's gonna go based on an individual, your body's type, size, weight, height, all of those factors. So it's not a one formula for all of us.
Yeah.
It's different for each one of us.
Okay. Okay.
And like I said, like even when you speak on those, you got to definitely understand what comes behind it. Which a lot of times you hear people say they crash and
Mm.
like that. So some of those products have a crash. So you get a jolt of energy, but then it's followed by a crash where now you don't really feel like you have energy. So it's different products. I would, like I say, everyone have to do their homework on each one. I
Uh,
must don't promote any or other one, because you definitely have to be a healthcare personnel. And as a trainer, me myself, not knowing what you will have to know what each individual take, because you got to make sure it matches with it too. So
right.
yeah.
Okay. That's a very thoughtful answer, man. Appreciate that. Okay. That makes sense. Um. Let me ask this. This is also a show where we discuss a lot of social issues. Health is coming in today, but we also discuss dating and relationships. So, in the spirit of that, how would you say that health and fitness plays a part in dating and relationships?
um I would say, for starters, a lot of times a lot of people don't start taking their health or their appearance serious until something happens in the relationship. I'll
Mm,
use myself as an example. I was married at a young age. I was about 21. Um, Together with my ex-wife for like 5 6 years. We started having issues and problems. One of the ways I ended up coping was by going to the gym. So I started hitting the gym in overtime or where the overtime youth center at. I started getting into there, 4 or 5 times a week. And that was the way I used, that's how I decompressed or, got over the stress of what you would say a bad relationship, but it also helped with upcoming relationship because now I felt better. My body started developing. I started mentally thinking. So it health and fitness to me helped me in the long run when it came down to relationships and things like that. And it actually contributed to how I became a trainer because if it really wasn't for that situation, I probably would have never found myself in the gym like that. Uh, so I think it's a good thing when you do, if the couples both, if they both working out, because then y'all probably be aligned on a sense to, eating properly and things like that, working out together. So I think it can definitely boost the relationship. You have your pros, for, both men and women, sexual heighten, things like that. So it's definitely something.
Okay. Okay. Great information. I thank you for that. And one other question, this came from a sister that sent this to me earlier this week. Is it harder to be fit, I guess, naturally, when you have had surgery or other type of cosmetic enhancements? Is it harder to be fit or to get into fitness? And what are some of the challenges that you might face?
I wouldn't say it's harder, but I think Ant said this at the very beginning when he got on. A lot
Yeah.
of people tend to go have these surgeries, and I really don't know what surgery she had because she didn't tell you.
Mm,
Um, but a lot of people run to go do the surgeries, and then they try to go exercise, and they really don't have it in them. I mean, I recommend. I'm not against people having surgeries. I mean, by any means, do what you feel is necessary for your body.
mm,
However, I always recommend to those people that's going to have surgery to try going to the gym first. See if you're going to be able to do 4 days a week, 30 minutes a day. See if it's something you're going to like because you got to like doing it. You're going to have to like it because if not, what's going to happen is, like he said, they're going to have the surgery, they're gonna have a flat stomach 2023, but by 2025, their stomach gonna be that big because they
mm.
continue eating bad. So they're gonna continue eating bad. They're not gonna exercise. They're not gonna do the things that they needed to maintain to maintain the surgery. So
Yeah.
it's important that even if you started off eating properly, exercising first, you may cancel that surgery. May not even have a surgery because you went and you started doing the things that you needed to obtain a body. Now, in some cases, some people, like I said, it's everybody, based upon their own opinion, they may need to have some of those surgery. Whether it's a woman who had 3 kids and she want to do her breast or whatever the case may be. Like I say, it's based on individuals. So like I'm
Or
not
she want,
against it. I'm not for it, but
or she might be built slim like me and want a bumblebee butt. She can't do that naturally, so she might.
nah, it's an Ant Man. Don't try to get. But
Ah,
we ain't gonna talk about no people.
No, man, we not. No, you just said it's certain things that you just can't achieve naturally. You might want to
Yeah,
go a little bit above over the top for.
yeah.
If that's what you want to do, you want to risk your life on it. Hey, it's your life to do what you feel to do. Me, I always just recommend to just go and do it naturally. Um, you know, don't do it for the love of somebody else loving you. Do it for the love of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you can enhance your body to look like some of the best top quality women out there, and a dude will end up sleeping with a Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? So, and that would even crush your feelings even harder. So, do
So
what you got to
ask
do.
y'all
Do
the
it for
question.
yourself.
How do y'all feel about that? I mean, we all men. Uh, I mean, I knew from a young age that we kind of choose our mate based upon how she looked
Mm,
naturally. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on nowadays is, you meeting girls and they're built a certain way, and you like, hey, you thinking long term. Well, if I have a child with this person, uh, how my kids gonna look,
Yeah.
and
Real
it's like
talk.
a false.
Mm.
Yeah, we end up getting false, getting a false reading around
False
here.
advertising.
There you
Yeah.
go. So I don't know if women think about that, or do they look at us the same way? I would hope so. Like, hey, if I pick him, he look like he's such and such. Maybe if I have a son, my son will be such and such.
Right.
So, um, what y'all think about it?
Man, I'm right there with you, bro. Like that that's one of the first things I look at. And I'm also thinking how she gonna bounce back from that pregnancy, or if she gonna bounce back from that pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? If we be totally honest, this is what I think a lot of men think about, because obviously she gonna put on some weight when she get pregnant. You know what I mean? And a lot of men, I mean, not to talk down on women who don't necessarily bounce back the best. You understand what I'm saying? But for a lot of men, it's you want your woman to stay physically fit. You want her to be in the best possible shape for as long as possible. And I think that the likelihood of her bouncing back, from being from the weight that she gains from pregnancy is much greater if you can see a track record that she consistently works out, she stays in shape, the women in her family stay in shape, so forth and so on. you know I even would ask, my wife now, I asked about, like, the health history of her family. Not to say that would necessarily have disqualified her if she would have been like, gave me a long sheet, you feel me? But you want to know these things because
Yeah,
health, fitness coincides, like you said, health is wealth, right? So fitness
yeah,
and health just kind of go hand in hand. So if you're thinking long term, which I do, you want to have a healthy family as well as a great looking wife for a long time. Hell yeah, that's one of the first things I look at. And I'm honest about it. Like, I think a lot of us, because people want to shame us when we come out and say that we have an opinion, we want to just keep things to ourselves. And it's like, nah, you need to put your opinions out there, and, like, you just put all your cards on the table, and, just kind of come to consensus with this person. But I think, hell yeah, that's real important. One of the first things I look at.
Yeah,
yeah.
we
So it's
talked about.
definitely noted that people who exercise, have a higher satisfaction in their relationship.
Yeah.
So, and this is stronger for people who exercise with their partner. So even like after piggyback off of you, a woman having, a child or something like that, it's just very important that they work as a team. Him definitely, making sure, helping her through the process, or seeking, help in other alleys, resources like people like us. We have helped so many women, after pregnancy, obtain their body post pregnancy, things like that. So yeah, you have to put a plan in place. Definitely.
Yeah, so we talked about that on this before. We had a situation where in the news clip there was an Asian man who sued his wife because she went and got cosmetic surgery,
Yeah.
and his children didn't come out the way he thought it would, and he said that the children were ugly. And then when he looked back at the picture before she got the surgery, now it starts to make sense. So
Mm. Damn,
it's a
that's
little too
hard.
late because you already created children with this woman,
Three, yeah, three of
thinking
them
that
too.
she had
About
that
two or
one
three of them.
perception and it's something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
three of them.
Yeah, like
Gave
two,
him
yeah,
three from them.
uggos.
yeah.
Woo! Damn. Wow.
She
So
got. I think I can't remember everything she got done, but I know she got her nose done, and maybe her cheeks or something. But them kids
yeah,
had like her old nose.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
That's why you
we
gotta be careful about messing with these Mr.
yeah.
Potato Head chicks.
Ah.
Real
we
talk.
bring we bring that up all the time, to let people know, you got to vet people, especially now that they're having people label are able to use titles and labels now. So you really have to do your due diligence and your thorough investigation because a lot of things are being hidden, and
Mm.
you're thinking that
Yeah.
things are for face value, and it's deeper than that. with a lot of people. So
Real talk.
definitely a great thing to do is to know who you're dealing with in the depth of it. I know when we talk about, oh, so is that's your last question, Major?
Yeah. That was my
Oh,
last question for now. Yeah, we
cool,
good.
cool. All
Hey
right, so
man,
I did
just
want
jump
to
up.
I
Yeah.
had something here for you.
So
Let's
while
see
you
if I
looking
can.
for it, I want to just
Yeah.
go ahead and get the viewers a little background about
Okay.
my business, which is I Can Fitness.
Gotcha.
It pretty much was started 2008. Um, I was a trainer at LA Fitness, Sky Lake, working there for 4 years. I started in 2004, and I found myself generally helping certain type of people, not
Mm,
necessarily us,
yeah.
mostly, YT people, um, and things like that. And I noticed that it wasn't something that was affordable for,
Yeah.
average African American.
Yeah.
So what I did was I sought out to create a program that was for us, by us, but at the same time, affordable. So about in
Mm,
2008, I decided to walk away from, LA Fitness, Body of Change, and I created I Can Fitness. I started at a local park with a friend of mine, God bless the dead, named Dre or Andre. I started with him, just had a little league park, which was actually Risco Park. It was in business back then.
mm,
And we were just having some of the moms on the teams, throughout the course of the football season. And then it later transpired to after football season, I started training some of those same parents in my apartment complex. And it wasn't until about 2011 or 12 I was able to get my very first facility in a commercial plaza, which was in Miramar. Um,
mm,
so basically, that's where we started most of our groundwork. Me and my current lead trainer, or top of the top, one of the best, which is Rod Tresvant. Get him on
mm,
Instagram, Rod the God 305. But we started I Can Fitness, then pretty much took it inside. Um, what we offer is group training, very affordable price. Our members train 4 to 5 times a week. You receive nutrition support. They get grocery shopping lists. We do an assessment. So we weigh you, do your body fat, take your inches. We try to do that once a month so we can kind of see where we at every month. We always doing challenges with our members to hold them accountable. We train together. We sweat together. We grind together. We all succeed by helping others succeed. One of us win, I'm pretty sure the rest of us win, and that's how we get everybody else to win. So um, that's pretty much a little bit about I Can Fitness. If any of y'all have any questions, y'all definitely can ask in reference to that. Um,
mm.
and you can go ahead, Mister.
Oh, okay, so with that being said, that you guys do that, I know Trick Daddy has lupus. There's a lot of us that suffer from lupus. There's people that suffer from sickle cell. Just a bunch of um, things that kind of don't make us equivalent to on a normal base of somebody else. So, is there like a certain workout plan for people that are more into that category, or is it just a universal and you just take it basically on not so hard on somebody? How do you judge that when it's somebody with an illness like that?
Well, we basically work with different clients of all levels of fitness. So we deal with intermediate, advanced, and beginners, as well as people that have all sorts of, whether they have injuries or conditions. We have our process. You come in. Of course, you have, if you do, we ask you those questions and things like that. And if you do have any issues, we make sure you is cleared, by your physician and things like that to actively participate in a program. And from that point, we'll kind of tailor it for individuals. So if you came in and you had a bad knee or things like that, We'll give you an alternative exercise for, like, if we doing squats, you may do something different, some leg extensions, something like that. But we definitely work with people of all different levels, backgrounds, injuries, and things like that. So we definitely can help.
Oh, okay. That was something that I know people were asking me about because we do have people that do have different illnesses that do want to do physical work, but not on the level of somebody that didn't have that same illness. So,
That's one of the beauties of the program. The beauty of the
mhm,
program is you're working with other people that probably have similar things to you. So when you
mhm,
do start, we kind of have, like I said, we have advanced, intermediate, and beginners. So like on
mhm,
day one, I'm gonna pair you with another beginner, so that way
mhm,
you're with someone who just like you, just starting. And I'm gonna pair y'all with an advanced person. And like I said, we work together. So it's like now you
mhm,
got a big brother, big sister to look out for you
mhm.
during your course of your workout. So we have a great system in place to work with all levels. You know,
Gotcha.
um,
No doubt. Now
Awesome.
you mentioned that. Are there other you mentioned the buddy system. Are there other ways that you can think of? Because that for me, I've always noticed, man, with people, I think that people really want to do the right thing, but they just lack, they severely lack in discipline, man. Like, you know what I mean? Besides the buddy system, are there other ways that you can think of that incentivize people to keep going after they start going, to keep showing up, other ways besides the buddy system?
um, it gotta be, and you gotta, I would say, your goal, whatever your reason, you definitely have to have a why you're doing it. Like we said, if whether it's for, your health, if you're a person that was taking medicine for high blood pressure, you want to lower it, you got to look at the things that pushes you to get up every day and get in there exercise. So whatever your goal may be, that would be the most that would be the fact that I would consider. It helps to have that accountability because now you have someone that's there that may text you, DM you, actually, where you been? Don't you got to go get your butt in here? Shit, we got to go walking. What
Yeah.
you ate? So, I mean, other than that, you got to have you got to have the discipline, determination yourself. You got to have the drive. You have
Mhm.
to, and it's finding it.
Okay.
Definitely. That's what's
Bet,
up.
bet.
So I definitely wanted to get into a couple of these diagrams real quick, and you can break down some of them for me. This one is determining female body types, women body types. There's five principles of a female body type. You can see the rectangular, the
Yeah.
triangle, apple, that is the time, and also the pear shape. Do you guys use the same model as well? Or do you, when somebody come to you, do you identify their body mass like that and know what kind of program or what kind of fitness level you want to put them on? Or do you just start them out generally on a basic level?
All right, we start off with a general. If you wanted to get into a little bit more extensive like that, that's when you would hire a personal trainer. So
Mm,
start off with group, and if you want to go a little bit in depth, even with like as far as our meal plans, we
mm,
do have the general meal plans, but we also can tailor the meal plans for each individual. We have various different ones. So you might come in and say, hey, uh, I'm trying to gain 20 pounds. And
mm,
the next person might come in and say, hey, Major might come and say he trying to lose 20 pounds. We
mm,
gonna work out together. However, it's y'all nutrition that's gonna be different. You still
mm,
eat 4 to 5 meals. He's still gonna eat 4 to 5 meals. It's just gonna be different. You may be consuming a little bit more proteins. You may have a carb, sweet potatoes, whatever. He just gonna have less than you. But when we ultimately come to work out, we both gonna squat, we both gonna sprint, we both gonna chest press. We gonna do the same things. It's just what we do outside that's gonna be different.
oh, okay,
Makes
cool.
sense. Makes
So
sense.
that's with the I just show you with the women and the men shaped a certain way. Is there any levels of where do you see some being harder to get to their level versus others? Is that
Definitely.
based on mass or is that just work
Nah,
ethic?
it definitely plays your body shape and type definitely plays a big part in how quickly that you will see results.
Mm,
Generally, some of those when you look at those the diagram,
mm,
some people have a lower body fat than
mm,
another one. So by based upon your body fat, that's how quickly you're going to receive the results. So
mm,
to me, the most important thing is getting your body fat down.
yeah.
Once you get the body fat down, your body works a lot more faster.
Mm,
So some people have advantages, which we talking about genetic. I have homeboys who was, built a certain way when we was kids, and y'all probably say the same thing. They was cock
yeah.
strong, or whatever the case may be. So genetics definitely do play a big part in it as well. But you can enhance your body through exercising, eating properly. No matter which body type you is, um,
Mm,
definitely enhance it. It's just some, like I say, based upon their body type, your homework assignment can be different.
correct. Okay.
Got it. Got
Gotcha.
it. We got
All
a
right.
we got a question in the chat.
Go
Oh
ahead.
my bad, Aunt. Go. You gonna
No,
go?
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. That
Yeah, we
question.
got a question in the chat from Sister Mila Renee. Shout out and congratulations to Sister Mila Renee. By the way, she got engaged a couple
Oh,
days
nice.
ago. Shout
Nah,
out to our sister. Shout out to Brother
Definitely.
Amin. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
the thing. Yeah.
I just want to take a
Yeah.
pause right here. Just put it out there, man. It's something. It's very telling that everybody around us is getting married and engaged.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would just put that out there. You know that
I'm
that's
gonna be
that's something
right there
special
too, baby.
because we
Yeah.
promote that
Right.
a lot on this show. You feel
Yes.
me?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that says a lot. But congratulations to our sister. Her question is, what is the best way for men to get their women in the gym when needed? And she says she asked because men generally set the tone for the home and women control the climate. Yet many men are afraid to speak up. What you say, brother?
she kind of
Definitely.
answered. She answered it at the end. She answered her question.
Okay.
It's about him speaking up.
Mm,
It's about that communication. I mean, they at that point they're about to get married, then they should be able to communicate with each other
mm,
effectively. If whether he has a or him setting a tone, setting that alarm for 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, getting up every day,
Mm,
going to the gym, or whether it's 5 p.m. coming home. Hey, I just got home from work. You want to go walking? I'm finna go to the gym. You know, he has to lead by example. Let's just put it that way. At the end of the day, him leading by example, and hopefully
mm,
she follow through. You know, even when
yes.
you talk about nutrition, him coming home, hey, I know you're just finna cook the oxtails with the rice and peas. I need you to make some chicken breast, grill some shrimp.
mm,
Switch it
mm.
up, go do different things. So lead by example.
Yeah.
I would say lead by example.
Hmm.
That's our favorite quote on here. Lead by example. We tell
Real
people to do
talk.
that all the time. This is a Manifestations theme. Lead by example.
We run that in the ground on here. Real talk. Because
Definitely.
to make the larger
Yep.
point, to
Mhm,
speak back to something I was saying earlier today, man, and it's just too many men afraid to be men.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You got to. She's
Facts.
expecting you to lead. You got to step into that position, man, and do it with your chest. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? And that don't mean that you got to be a tyrant and a dictator, but say what's on your mind and don't let people shame you for your preferences and how you
mhm.
feel. That I think that's great game. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And more of us have to get more into that, particularly with the rise of the internet,
Yep.
and the internet troll.
Mm,
If you are a man
Right.
nowadays online and you basically say any damn thing that's an opinion, regarding how you feel about something, it's a problem and everybody got something to say.
yeah.
And for that reason, you got all these thumb thugs out here. They the Twitter fingers get to working, and guys be afraid to say what they got to say. Man, you got to stand in the paint and go hard. And if they feel like they got something to say to you, Let them get slapped with words. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be afraid to do what it is that you're supposed to do. I'm right there with you, bro.
I think that's 50% of it, and I also think the other 50% is that a lot of brothers also feel as though being a leader or taking a position of leadership, especially in the homes, requires them to be perfect. So
Mm,
because there's a and I talk we talk to brothers, and when these conversations pop up, I hear a lot of doubt in a lot of men's voice, a lot of
mm-hmm.
lack of confidence, and it's always like, well, but what if this goes wrong, or what if this doesn't happen, or what if I get it wrong? And they're afraid to mess up. But they don't understand. Look, leadership, and it doesn't matter whether it's in the household or even at the corporate level. If you were CEO,
Yeah,
leadership is literally an on-the-job training type of deal. You're gonna have some wins, you're gonna have some big victories, but you also gonna take some L's. You're gonna make some decisions that in
yeah,
some cases, like, damn, we really screwed this up.
yeah.
But the key is you have to be first and foremost dedicated to the best interest of everybody, first and foremost. And then second of all, you have to be committed to working for the people that you're leading, even if it's just yourself.
Yeah.
So if you got those two things, even if you mess up, so long as the people still believe in you, you're transparent, you're honest about it, but you're still committed to, what, we're not going to sit here, we're not going to stay stuck here. We're going to move past this. We down today by 10. We're going to be up by 20 tomorrow. If you got that mindset, you are fit to lead. You are qualified to lead. Like the saying goes, you don't got to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
That's 100.
And
Mm-hmm.
as the more you do, like anything else, the more you do it, the better you get at.
Got to crawl
D
before.
knows, you can't do one damn pull up. You can't hold the bar for 2 seconds without your hands getting tired or your arms getting sore. But you stick with it, and a week later you're doing one pull up. Couple weeks you banging out 3. Give it a few months, you out here doing sets of pull ups. And a whole year
Yeah,
you out here doing muscle ups, doing all kind of cartwheels and crazy stuff off the bars. But it started way back when you could barely keep one or two or three fingers on the bar in the first place. So you
real
gotta
talk.
stick with it.
Trust the
Definitely.
process. Ain't that what y'all say? Trust the
Yep.
process.
Definitely trust the
Trust the
process. That's
process.
one of our favorite sayings right there.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Definitely.
Let me ask you this question
Right.
real quick because I know Ant go jump into something else.
No.
Protein shakes and creatine. I
Yeah.
want to talk about those two things, those two products in particular, because I've heard a lot of stuff. There's a lot of myths afloat about both protein shakes and creatine. And the rap is that like they leave deposits in your kidneys and stuff in your body that that doesn't go away, that's not good, so forth and so on. Is there any truth to
Let
Uh,
me go put my protein powder and creatine up because I don't want their feelings to get hurt. Just in case.
that?
They sensitive. They
Hey,
artists.
Listen, I'm gonna just say it like this:
yeah,
protein shakes do not harm your body. Um,
okay.
like one of the things I said earlier was how much water you consume. When
Mm.
you add in these different products and things to your body, it's just important that you're consuming enough water to actually not necessarily flush them, but to regulate. So like myself, I took pre-workouts and things like that, and I happened to go, to the doctor and take a checkup, and my creatine levels was up. First thing they said was like, "We know you work out. We know you look like you're in tip top shape, but it was kind of like, well, how much, what you're taking? Okay, I'll take a little pre workout. Well, how much water are you drinking? That's what back at the time I was drinking like 100 ounces, and that's when the doctor said, well, you're supposed to drink 100 ounces based upon your weight, but now that you're adding these other supplements, I'll now need you to drink an
Mm,
additional 20 or 30 ounces of water.
Mm,
So
mm.
got people
mm.
taking protein
Pro
shakes,
tip.
things
Pro
like
tip.
that, but they're not drinking enough water. Or they already ain't drinking enough water. Now they drinking a protein shake. So they definitely need to definitely make sure they're adding water to those things. Their protein shakes are helpful. Some people use them to gain weight. Some people use protein shakes as a meal supplement. It's just different ways to use it. You don't have time to cook lunch, you drink a protein shake. You get your calories that way. So it's nothing wrong with, definitely taking protein shakes.
Okay, bet. And the creatine being in them or not doesn't necessarily make a difference.
Well, there's a lot of things that we take that have creatine. It's just finding if you want to go the natural route or just taking a supplement, kind of like someone who don't eat vegetables. You could drink them. You don't got to eat broccoli.
Mm,
You can drink them,
okay,
or you could take, capsules. They got veggie capsules, things like that. So it's the same thing.
got you. Okay, appreciate you, brother.
Definitely.
Go
I just
ahead,
want to
Ant.
show. I just want to show this one clip, and then we can go into his results. Oh, we have the queen.
So
This
like
is
even
what.
just to give you a little bit like on the creatine for you fellas, if
Mm,
you looking to raise that, you got natural food sources that's high in creatine, like your red meat. Although
mm,
it's other benefits and side effects of eating red meat, but that's one of the best sources of natural creatine is your steak, lean steak and things like that. Your chicken, your chicken and your poultry, they have creatine. So that's part of the reason why someone who, if they're already eating those things and then you taking a supplement with creatine, why your creatine levels will be high, and
mm,
which is why you would need to drink more water. You can
Mm,
understand. So, fish, all those things have natural creatine in it. You just have to eat.
mm.
okay,
Gotcha.
okay. Go
So,
ahead, and I want to cut you off. We do have a question in the chat.
so
FYI.
yeah. So, Quita says, what do you think about all fruit diet and fasting? I know on my page I had put up the other day. I did a 24-hour fruit fast, and I know a lot of people were underneath my post. One guy was telling me, to add it to make it um, a super powerful fruit fast by adding cinnamon and apple cider vinegar. Just giving me extra help tips on that. I did it for 24 hours. Um, but I guess she wants to know, what do you think about all fruit diet and fasting?
You say all fruit.
Yeah.
Uh, Me personally, I don't. I wouldn't tell anyone to do any type of crash diet or any diet that eliminates any of the other food groups. I
Mm,
mean, we need fruits, you need your vegetables, you definitely need your carbs and your protein. You
mm,
have to consume all of them. It's okay to do them, if you're gonna do something like that for a couple of days. But if
mm,
it's something you're doing for a prolonged period, once you go back to your regular routine, you're gonna basically mess up everything you did, and it's
yeah,
very hard to just sustain off of just fruits alone. I mean,
exactly.
now if you got the willpower, so be it. But I don't recommend eliminating none of the food groups.
Mm,
So I
that's
do
great.
No.
see like they got all type of different diets. You got grapefruit diets. I think I heard of the fruit one uh, for 21 days or 7 days, things like
Mm,
that. But even going off of you saying a fast, you get people who fast. I mean, generally we
mm,
all supposed to kind of be fasting. A
mm,
lot of people, I would say, get you a window, a 12-hour window,
mm,
and eat from. If you wake up at 6, your first meal at 7, you should be
mm,
finished all your meals in a 12-hour window. So whether it's
yeah,
from 7 to 7, and then you will fast for the next 12 hours, which is
yeah,
why breakfast is called breakfast fast, because you just fasted. So I would
exactly.
say stick in a window of eating, like and but once again, it's based on the individual. Something
True.
that may work for me may not work for you, but general rules: 4 to 5 meals a day, eating an hour and a half, 2 hours in between. You should finish all those meals within that 10, 12 hour window. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Correct, correct. That's why I do the 24-hour fast because with 24 hours, it gives your body, that's pretty much what your body needs to clear out everything that you ate out of your stomach. So once it fasts to that level, it can end up providing extra help to other things in your system. That's why they always talk about fasting. I know in the Nation of Islam, they do fasting a lot because my ex she used to do fast every now and then. Not every month, but she used to do a fast probably every 3 months or something like that. Might do a whole weekend fast, and just to clear a system, recharge the system. So
Yeah.
fastings are, I do, me personally, I do see a big difference when you fast, and it's just clinically
It has
proven that you get
positive
it.
effects. It
Yes,
does.
it does.
Some
It does. So
blood
I
sugar
definitely,
control, blood pressure. Like I said,
exactly.
it's different strokes, different folks.
Correct, correct. Always see something. I mean, always see a professional about that. If you're going to go into a deep phase like that, always consult somebody and get that extra feedback, because you just don't want to just jump out there and do something. Even if it's a couple of days, it can probably mess you up depending on, like you say, the genetics of your body structure and what you already forced your body to naturally be consumed, and thinking that you're eating on a consistent basis, and you take it away. Because you remember, at the end of the day, food in our body is kind of like drugs, right?
Yeah.
When you take away something, you now go cold turkey. And whether you're doing drugs or food, cold turkey is not something that is going to end up being in a positive way. So just be very careful about doing the cold turkey effects, because it could come back negative towards you. So, like I say, always get a different opinion, second opinion, and stuff like that. Always consult with somebody else if you're going to go through that extreme. Definitely just want to show this clip real quick. So the best compound exercises. So push-ups engage into chest, arms, shoulders, some tummy back, rows, back and tummy, plank, back, tummy, bottom, thighs, shoulders, lunges, thighs and bottom, squats, thighs, bottom, back, tummy, deadlifts, bottom, thighs, back, calves, bench press, chest, shoulder, arms, tummy, military press, shoulder, upper back, arms. Is that a correct display of how the different routines affect the different parts of the body?
It look good. The best compound exercises, based on my knowledge, is the bench press, the deadlift, your squats,
Mm.
your rows. Those four would probably be the big four that any exercise or any strength program should include. So
Okay.
if you
So you
want to
said
have
bench
those,
press,
the
deadlift,
deadlift,
squats.
squats, anything with your back like the rows, things
Okay,
like
got you, Rose.
if you notice, Tommy is on majority of them, and it should be on
Yes.
all of them.
Yeah, I did see that.
Your core is engaged no matter what you're doing. When we standing up, our core
Mm,
is engaged. When you bend over, when you reach, when you do everything. So every exercise you do, your core is part of it. That's where it started
yes,
at. So
definitely.
that's why the word tummy is there for push-ups, because y'all probably
Yeah.
never thought about a tummy being there with a push-up. But
Mm, mm.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, you have to. So that's one of the things, focal points. You have to strengthen your core, and
Yeah.
it helps you along the way with all of those exercises. Having a strong foundation, that's your foundation.
Okay, cool. Now, last one I want to show. A lot of people don't really do legs. I see a lot of guys that's running out here with upper bodies and legs. Do you look at guys and say, "Damn,
Shameful.
come on, bro! Like, put some more
Shameful.
extra effort in your legs."
I
Do you see
mean,
that?
I just kind of, you know, let them hear it from a woman. What it is. And, I asked a young lady in front of them, hey, do women like guys with legs? And then they get the answer from the ladies. And from that
Yeah,
point, they can determine whether or not they want to include lower body into their program. But
yeah,
at I Can Fitness, our guys do everything. I mean, we
nice.
do full body. Remember, we don't spot reduce. So we
Yeah,
squat and we lunge and we pushing sleds. If I got a program called Ass and Abs. It's guys that been in it, and they doing the kickbacks with the bands on. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I like I said, I suggest that you work your whole body, and I tell all the guys that's still your foundation, your lower body right there. You got to have your legs. Got to.
yes,
Makes
definitely.
sense.
I appreciate
Super
you
necessary.
taking the time out. Has been such a great, great, great episode. I'm gonna show people your results, and then my co-hosts, they can see wrap things up with you, so people can find you and definitely should reach out as first option. That's one of the reasons why I brought you on here. So I'm gonna definitely show people your results real quick. So we'll go through it. I thought this was
Hey,
I
get
thought
Wow.
it,
this was
sis.
dope.
Hey,
I
and we
thought
Get it,
definitely
sister. I
we
love it.
yeah,
definitely are results. A lot of times you get on social media and you see these, new Instagram trainers or, celebrities, and most people think because they have a huge following,
mm,
they know what's going on and what to do, and a lot of times that has been proven to be wrong. You know,
exactly.
so I've been doing this for years. That's my main thing. I'm not on my profile with my shirt off or, doing things like that. I
Yeah.
want you to see what we do, and what we do is we do definitely get results. It's a mental thing. It's being able to get those clients in there, shifting their mindset. It ain't just about what we do for that 1 hour. Is what you do the 23 hours that you not with me. That
Exactly.
oh, because I
Hmm.
got you for that hour. You feel
Yeah.
me? But
Yeah.
now I need you to do what you need to do
To
the other
stay on it.
3 hours.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit deeper than just exercising. You go back to a lot of things we talked about. Is having that discipline, that determination. You know, even with your lifestyle changes, I tell a lot of people to, uh, if when you do get that goal, uh, you need to find people with like goals. So like back to that young lady, you gotta sometimes look at your friends. Like
Mm,
find one of your friends that's into working out. Start
yes.
going to the gym with them, because
Yeah.
that friend gonna encourage you differently. They're gonna ask you when you coming again. What you eating after the gym?
Yeah.
What you
Mhm.
had before. Shit, what you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Going to South Beach or shit, hey, but you gotta, be mindful of what you have out there. You can't be throwing down 3, 4 drinks. We're gonna be
Yeah.
back in the gym on Monday, boy, you're gonna be sluggish. Yeah.
Real
So
talk.
I
So
definitely want to show I definitely want to show your results real quick. We could go through them. Oh man, I saw this. I was like, oh, this man,
Wow.
this is
Wow.
what this is what Little Wayne was talking about when he was like Mrs.
To
Officer, right?
protect and serve.
All right.
That's
So
drastic.
we got our fellas too. Fellas,
Wow.
y'all
My
not
brother.
excluded.
My brother.
We
What?
I always hear women always talking about guys that have these big Jabba the Hutt stomachs, and when you're having sex with women, your stomach is in the way, bro. Like let's tighten up, man. Like we said before, you want a woman that looks good. A woman wants a man, her mate to look good as well. It go both ways. So you gotta give that eye candy like you want that eye candy. All right,
Right. Right.
fellas,
Mhm.
tighten it up. Let's get them stomachs down. You know what I'm saying?
There
Great
we go.
results. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
yeah.
Great results.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Exactly.
Nice.
Definitely.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know,
That's a big one
even
there.
even the back,
Ah.
shoot, when
Hmm.
you seeing a
Hey,
woman from the
it ain't
back,
just the back. If you look at her butt cheeks, you can see where the gap was formed. The definitely the glutes
Hmm.
are
The
more
yeah,
definition.
defined and tighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Her back. You can
exactly.
actually see her back or the
She had a lot more body fat, or some more body fat on the left, and you can see
Hmm.
the body fat decreased on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Exactly.
You can see her
Making
back
them
muscles and everything.
Yeah.
very
Yep.
sexy.
See the
Because
the, the
the
line.
diamond, we go crazy over the diamond. Another back. Look at this. This one, I had to put this up because
That's
look at
drastic.
man, that is drastic.
Hey,
Wow.
Shout
And you
shout out to my boy Supreme Raw and his unbig your back movement. I know he'd love this right now.
yeah.
you know, now imagine, fellas, one of your favorite positions is from the back. Now you telling me you don't get extra energy from the girl on the right versus her old self on the left?
Yeah.
That's that's
In the
It's
motivation.
sense,
definitely a
yeah,
better look.
That's good
definitely.
for at least another 7, 8 more pumps, at least bare minimum.
Definitely. All right. So we got
Hey,
some
you
more.
talk about 7, 8 more. You might be negative seven, eight
Mm.
more.
Hey.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Shit.
you might get excited, too
Could
excited.
go
Yeah.
either way.
I thought
Man,
this was a dope one. This is super
that's a
dope.
great one. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Drastic.
That's a definite dope one.
Yes.
Hey,
You got
listen,
another one. Oh, I love this one
we
because
call
she
them
actually
Wow.
you
looked
know,
like she aged. She
And
looked
it's the
like she
same.
took about
It's the same
5 years.
call it
dress
same
too.
dress challenge.
But look
We
Yeah.
how,
got a couple of
and
same dress
this
challenges.
is actually Yes, that's you.
Wow.
I love that you did that because that's super important. Because I see people do. I know recently that's been like a little trend on social media where the joke is a woman will go ahead and show like a dress that's on Sheen or something and say this is what I ordered. Then she'll have it on her and like I want my money back because this is how it looks like on me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is a real life example right here. The same exact dress, and look how much better it wears on the right compared to on the left.
She looked younger. She looks about
Exactly.
6 or 7 years younger.
Younger.
And for the
Exactly.
That's
listeners
crazy.
out there, you can definitely jump on my IG is that dude fit THATDUDEFIT or type in I can fitness. One of the pages will come up. Um, we are home of the results. That was one of my focal points was definitely to lead people to get the results. We got a
Definitely.
challenge. We actually starting a challenge tomorrow, and we tend to do at least 9 or 10 challenges a year, and that's how we are able to get the results. Because we previously said everybody want things instantly. It's not gonna come instantly. It's definitely you can't eat a salad a day and expect to have results in 2 months. No differently, if you eat a cheeseburger, you ain't gonna gain 40 pounds from eating one.
Yeah.
You gotta definitely have that discipline, and consistency is the key. Being consistent is the most important aspect. If it to me, one of the most important aspects.
Hmm.
Consistent.
And something
Definitely.
else I want to point out real quick, and we don't have to go back through them, but for those watching, they're going to watch the replay. I want you to go back and take a look at the pictures that Ann tossed up there real quick after I'm saying something. Just check to see if I'm on point, if I'm talking out my behind. But in the vast majority of those pictures, men and women alike, most of the cases, take a look at the before picture and compare it to the after picture.
And
In
see if you can
most
find mine.
cases, in most
Mhm.
cases, you're going to see that the person on the right is usually smiling. Even if they're smiling in both pictures, the
Yeah.
smile is different.
It's a different
There,
smile. I was gonna say the
there's a
same
I'm
thing.
happy
And I
smile,
was saying,
but then
look at
there's
mine.
the accomplished smile. There's like a I'm proud smile. There's a confident smile. In some cases, the posture is different. They stand up a little straighter.
Yeah.
They posture a little different, but the overall look, it's more confident. And I tell people because I used to be a really huge fit head like several years ago, and then I've gotten back on the grind. Now I'm heavy with it now again. But fitness, it's one of the few things out there that has a 100% money back guarantee satisfaction rate. I've never met one person, I never heard of one person or seen anybody anywhere saying, you know what, I done lost all this fat. I'm in shape now. I'm more flexible. I can climb upstairs without getting winded anymore. I don't have to pause. You know, I'm more miserable now that I'm fit and healthy than I was when I was fat and obese and out of shape. I've never heard it.
Nobody says that.
Never.
Feel
Never.
better. You definitely feel better about yourself. Energy
That's
level.
real.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
thing about fitness.
Love it.
Definitely.
Great conversation, man. I'm
All right.
about to go
So
do me some
yeah,
sets.
we so I just
Hey,
put
Y'all
up.
boys
I
all
just
welcome to come on over and get y'all a session there. I'm looking forward to seeing,
Okay, you on
no,
40? You on 47th and 183rd, right?
yeah,
Same
48,
plaza with
88.
the Chinese place.
I don't
Eh,
know about no Chinese place player.
That's where I be at.
Oh
That's where
no,
I be at.
that's on the other side. That's
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 what I'm
on the
saying.
other
Which
side.
side are you on? The side with KFC?
Yeah, KFC Dunkin'
Okay, that
Donuts,
side. Okay,
two-story
so
building.
I know where you at.
so
I know exactly where
so
you at.
so D said, when you done eating all that chicken fried rice with the wings, come on over, come on over to I Can't Fitness so you can unbig your bag too.
So
Let's
you can
get
work
it.
it out. All right, then.
All right, so let them know one more time before we leave out of here how they can reach you. I can.
You can reach me on Instagram, that dude fit, THAT, like that dude, DUDE fit. Facebook, Dietrich Harrington, located two locations, one in Miami Gardens, 4888 Northwest 183rd Street, Lauderhill, off of 5458 North University. So that's right off Commercial and University. So you got two different locations to choose from. We train Monday through Friday. No excuses, fellas. We work out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at night. All we need you to do is get one session per day. You got that 4 to 5 days a week. So we try to limit the excuses for most people. So you got 9, 10 sessions you can choose from each day. You know, we even work out on Friday, a couple of sessions, and even Sunday. So we try to leave the excuses at the crib,
Yeah, that's right. You ain't told a lie.
So
Beautiful.
we
I love it.
appreciate you taking your time out, man, and giving us this energy. Because I know normally you do up to 40 minutes, and just giving us 100 an hour and 20 minutes means a lot. So I definitely appreciate that, man. So definitely, anytime you need anything, you want to come back on the platform and share with us anything you got, man, feel free, man. We here.
All right. Well, I'm checking out.
Facts.
It was nice rocking with y'all. I definitely will get y'all, info from Ant, and we'll definitely talk. Thanks all.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Let's
Appreciate
do
that.
this.
I
for checking in
appreciate
and
you.
listening. All
Bless
right.
God
up,
bless,
brothers.
brother. I'm gonna slide through. I'm gonna
All
slide through
right,
there.
Hey, one
definitely,
of these
man.
Sundays, you're going to see me out there getting my back super unbigged.
There you go.
Definitely, man. I appreciate the brother for giving us his time. I know he gave us a little bit more than he normally give anybody else because that's my good friend, man. Knew him for a good while. We do fantasy football together and everything. So I
Okay.
just wanted everybody to know how dope he was. Dr. Katina was just on here earlier. She was saying a couple of things in this. She actually went to iCan Fitness. I think she still might be going, but she will be on the show with us in 2 weeks. Super dope doctor. So you guys make sure you guys subscribe, like. I need everybody to hit the like button. Whenever you come in this room, I need you to hit the like button as soon as you step in the room.
There it
Just
is.
hit the
Smack
like
that
button.
like button.
That's kind of like wiping your feet off before you come in the house. All right.
There you go.
There you go.
Definitely. So make sure you guys, we have back to back. We have a super dope guest for you guys next week as well. So definitely, we got 3 heavy hitters back to back. Y'all gonna love it. All right. So now that we can go on to our regular scheduled program because I didn't want to have him up here late with us.
Right.
But
No doubt.
definitely, what he was talking about, is something that I saw on trending on media, right? So let's go to our trending weekly topics. And I saw something that I thought, and since um, we're talking about the fitness, I thought this would be great to bring this up. All right, so where is it? I'm trying to find it. Don't tell me that I didn't. Hold on. No, that's not it. That's not it. I can't believe that I didn't. Did I? Is it up top? Oh, here we go. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So we're talking about fit, right? So champion boxer Terrence Crawford is being ridiculed for still being with the mother of his 6 children because she's chubby and unfit for a champion. I saw that and I was like, oh, all right. So I think people have this notion where you want to have somebody that's physically fit, um, but that does not necessarily mean somebody else has a problem with their wife being physically fit because I think one of the key things that people have to take in consideration is that she had 6 children. And I think Major, you said something about that earlier. I can't remember if it was you or Bobby, but you guys said something about having a child, and I think that was you. Yeah, you did say
Yeah,
bounce back, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And so she has 6 children. And I think people don't take in consideration, like we was talking about earlier about medical apartheid, one of the top 3 books of all time, where a lot of women died on the table giving childbirth. It's a very serious situation. And I think a lot of guys, you guys really have to have some empathy when you see somebody like this, especially somebody's wife, and you don't know the reasons why they cherish them the way they do. But I'm pretty sure that he's given his wife grace based on her body style because she would deliver 6 of his children.
right.
It's a different type of mentality when that happens. So, and she takes care of the household. She makes him a better man. There's so many other things that kick into place as well.
Hmm.
So, I just wanted to see what you guys' opinion was on that.
Well, yeah, like to come back to that, yeah, we I think there's a definitely another aspect to look at that through another
Mm,
lens, you know, and it is through the health and fitness lens. You gotta give somebody some kind of leeway when they didn't have 6 kids for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 kids is a lot.
yeah,
You feel me? And this woman's body done went through all type of changes, whatever the case may be. She's it's something that we can't relate to, number one. And like I said before, this sister is not in the limelight. This is
yeah,
not. Why are you criticizing her? She's not, if you can criticize Terrence Crawford all you want, and even with him, the criticism should be legitimized. It should
yeah,
be sports related criticism. We don't need to be, talking about all type of things outside of sports that have to do with Terrence Crawford.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's this oversharing culture on social media,
mm,
where people tell us all type of ridiculous things about themselves that we don't need to know and they don't need to share. And then the so-called sports journalists, they jump on it too. You understand what I'm saying? Because these articles, several articles circulating about how big this woman is, whatever the case may be, these articles shouldn't have. You should be fired when you write something like that. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with anything. But unfortunately, the time that we're in, we're not in a time where people are concerned with telling the news how it should be told or actually giving people some pertinent information that they can use. Everybody's concern is just getting clicks.
yeah,
And when your only concern is just getting clicks, you start talking stupid and reporting nonsense. There's no reason for them to have gone in on this woman the way that they did.
right.
This sister is out here, living her best life. Her husband is the champion, and and she should be respected as such. That these type of articles shouldn't even be written. It's sad that even occurred.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay, Bob.
Um, yeah,
I've
Bob,
said
you
it
wanted
before.
to,
I'll say it again. I
yeah,
miss the era when you couldn't just talk reckless like that over the internet, and while you could have your little opinion, you could make a little statement in somebody's newspaper or magazine or radio or TV show. At the same time, you and everybody else understood that there was a pretty strong chance. It wasn't necessarily guaranteed, but it was a pretty strong chance that after you said your words, whether you wanted to or not, you got
mm,
to stand on them because whoever you was talking about was going to come see you.
mm,
Real talk.
I miss those days, and and that's not to say that you're not allowed to have an opinion or not allowed to have a perspective on something,
Yeah.
but first and foremost, you need to understand that, like everything else, there's rules of engagement. You
mm,
know, you're gonna talk about Terrence Crawford. You can take shots at him. You could make fun of his looks. You can make fun of his skills. Say, oh, he's not who he thinks he is. He's not better than such and such. You can even say he's a whack boxer. He's garbage. You can say whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But universally, and for as long as just about there's been a code of conduct, there's been an unspoken rule that you don't bring up a man's significant other
Right.
in a
Right.
conversation like that. You don't bring up his children, and if you do either of those things, you more than likely gonna leave. You more likely gonna end the day or end the night looking a little different from how you started the day or the
That's
night.
it.
You,
Mm-hmm.
you,
As you
you
should.
one of your eyes might be a little bigger than the other. You might be missing some teeth. Your nose might be throwing up gang signs.
Yeah.
You might have some bruised or broken ribs. You might have a broken limb. You might just have to do some overnight in the hospital or something. But you ain't gonna be the same person for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real
And the
talk.
people who accepted they charge of the game, they knew what it was. But nowadays, you got a whole lot of people that have just become really, really comfortable with not challenging ideas and not being controversial, but be getting out of pocket,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not how you do. Because you can do just about anything out there in the world in life, but it's also about how the way you go about doing certain things or whatever. And a lot of people don't understand the art in that, and they just result to just spitting out verbal diarrhea and just being out of pocket, just being messy. And then when you do have people who from that old school who pull up on you, let them know what's good, then comes all the whining. Well, it's just words. It's not that deep, man. It's just an opinion. Oh, I got freedom of speech. Shut your goofy ass up and get this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
ain't no one told you to go and do what you did and say what you said, but there's a real life cost about the respect. Is I understand that nowadays, you know, everything is just so transactional and just so loose and open, but there are some principles that still stand the test of time. And it doesn't matter how advanced we might get as a people, how futuristic our technology might be, how advanced we get in terms of discoveries and stuff. There are still going to be some elements that stand the test of time, and I believe that respect is one of those things.
Exactly.
So,
Definitely.
if you want to go ahead and talk about Terrence Crawford's wife, or his children, that's your business. You can go ahead and do that. It is a free country. You have the right to say what you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
but the rights to say what you want to say does not mean that you are free of consequences.
Exactly.
Accountability is forever. You're gonna have to see the man when you're done, and whoever it is that's popping off like that, you probably duck and run. But I hope somehow, fate or destiny or whatever you want to call it brings you in a kind of a Terrence Crawford, so we can go ahead and put them paws on you
Mm-hmm.
and give you
So
ass that WBC work.
Real talk.
so speaking of being reckless, I definitely want to get into the next trending weekly topic, which is um, Erica Badu has been going at it with DJ Academics. Lately, DJ Academics have been saying some real crazy stuff. He said something about SZA recently, but he was going at it with Erica Badu, and Erica Badu's clapback was just so serious. Like I just started laughing. So as you guys know, Erica Badu has a brand of incense that basically is called Badu Pussy, and she went and got
Huh?
because she was going back and forth with this dude. She went and made one of her incense, incense.
Bro, you messing me out when you keep saying
I know, I'm messing it up, Doc. But the incense, right? So the incense she made after this dude DJ Academics, and what happens is you're seeing that Jerry character is the Jerry she was on the show with
Yo.
Joe Budden. She was on the show with Joe Budden, and she says, "You look like somebody." And she told him right in DJ Academic's face, "You look
Ah.
like somebody." She was like, They were like, "Who?" And then he's like, "Jerry." And then they did the side by side with his face and
It's
Jerry, and he
hilarious.
looked just like. And it was just so hilarious, and he got very offended by that and just went on a rant.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up having this fragrance right? And then she put the Livingston chain on it,
Yo.
where that's where he's from in Jamaica, where his family's rooted
Ah,
in Jamaica, right? And then on top of that, it's called. She had it online. This
No.
incense, this incense actually sold out so quick.
wow,
Yes.
This this
wow,
the flavor of it is the biggest pussy energy. That was the name of this incense, called
Yo.
Biggest Pussy Energy limited edition box.
wow, wow.
E3.
Oh,
And
oh,
she had to let everybody know it was sold out,
that's
right?
hilarious.
Just that fast. And she said,
Hysterical.
in the honor of the biggest pussy in our culture, we're introducing this limited edition premium incense
Yo.
Wow,
because he deserves it.
wow,
So
wow.
I definitely wanted to highlight that, man. I
That's
have his thing.
hilarious.
I have his video here of his rant with SZA, and then you guys can
Is
join
not
in.
looking tittying. Because right now I can't distinguish the titty from the stomach. You look like you just got a whole motherfucking like bulletproof vest on. Your whole shit is flat. Your ass be fat sometimes, but I'm telling you, you got to get back on the knife more frequently. You love to eat. You are an eater. You're a eater. It's cool. I like to eat too. But chicks like you, I'm going to go with the gut. Y'all don't catch me with the Gucci Man gut. Y'all going to have to deal with that. They already see my gut on the gram. X try to put the gut on the gram. They had a couple little bumps on it because, like, I've been trying to work out, like, you know what I mean? I had an ingrown hairs. They try to say I had some shit. I don't care. I'm a nigga. But y'all be fat just like me, looking like a linebacker's. Your neck thick as like a 32 pack of Franks, and now y'all acting like y'all bad. You fat as fuck. Let's keep it a bean. You know you've been under the knife mad times. We don't care how much you show that little botch BBL. You need to get back to the doctor one more time, and I'm gonna stand on it, man.
All right, so that's his rant.
Oh
Um,
God. Oh God. I mean,
so,
sometimes it's just there's so much material. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, first of all, you actually missed the best rant. The best rant
yeah,
was his rant on Erica Badu.
yeah,
That rant was legendary.
yeah,
And it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like at the end of the day, we got a lot of brothers and sisters out here behaving in ways they shouldn't be, right?
Mm,
Um, some people are talking down on each other in this back and forth, and nobody's necessarily telling any lies. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a beam.
mm,
Nobody's really lying, you know. But it's sad to see it come together like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like academics is that fat kid that was picked on all his life. You understand what I'm saying? And he just never had the heart to actually bust somebody in the mouth and take his respect. So now that he's behind all these security guys and he got all this paper, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, he feel like he could talk greasy
yeah,
from his little desk. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? He got
Tiny desk.
security outside, whatever the case may be, so it's a good opportunity for him to not feel like a sucker for the first time in his life.
mm,
And I guess that feels pretty good. That's what I'm getting because he has been reckless lately. I mean, he is just talking crazy. My thing is, if you felt a way about what Erica said was slick. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like she tried that man on his own show. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't do shit like that. It was disrespectful. She should have did that. You know what I'm saying? But that was 5 years ago, man.
mm.
If you had a problem with it, you should have said something about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And you would have been within your right to check her on that. I'd have checked her on my show if it was
mm,
me. You know what I'm saying? But we flow different. We different types of dudes. She probably wouldn't have said nothing like that to me or any
yeah,
other dude who wasn't a dude like academics. You know what I'm saying? It's like academics.
You know what I'm saying? He had you feel a way about him just because of the way reckless things that he says, just foolish things that he does. Back then, he used to really go out of his way to just try to be down. You feel me? And it's like it's a total turnoff to you if you're any type of a real person. You know what I'm saying? You instantly dislike this nigga. You know, I've never met DJ Academics and I can't stand him. You understand? Just because of the way, his personality, what he exudes, you know, he comes off like a pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. It's unfortunate, but you know, you just don't do and say sucker shit for no reason like that. You know what I'm saying? And this guy has a track record of consistently doing that. And on the other hand, because you had people back in the day that were bullies, and you had people back in the day that were defenders. So there's a side of me that kind of rocks with dude a little bit because I used to always stand up for the kid that was getting bullied. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a side of me that kind of rocks with him in that capacity until he says or does some other stupid shit. And it's like, bruh, no, people can't even come to your defense because you keep doing sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? To get that person face dirty if they come out and they be like, man, leave him alone. Like when he was talking all the smack about hip hop coming from Caribbean culture, and Tariq Nasheed had to check him on it. You know what I'm saying? But a long time before that, he just kept babbling, just flapping his dick suckers for no reason, just babbling, and not even taking the time out to do the research to find out where hip hop actually came from. If you do it, a hour-long research, you'll know it's foundational Black American culture, period. Caribbean people had nothing to do with the creation of hip hop, period. And for you to be a person who is a public figure who gives commentary on hip hop culture and not know that and keep, perpetuating this lie over and over again, that speaks ill of you and your character. And he does a lot of ignorant shit like that. I forget, was it 21 Savage? I think it was 21 Savage, but he kept talking about, this rapper that they were trying to clean themselves up, and he like, nah, man, I want you to keep doing trap shit. I want you to do that ignorant shit. Yeah. It's like, I just wanted to smack him. Like, dude, this dude, I forget who it was, but it was a rapper who was trying to do more positive stuff. And, he was trying to make some positive change. And he kept encouraging him to do ignorant shit. Like he's encouraging SZA to go back and get more surgery. What Black man is going to encourage a Black woman, when you care about Black women, to go back under the knife and risk her life to get some bullshit surgery on her body that she don't need? You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a maturity cat. It's a maturity issue with this cat, where he just continually just does dumb shit and says reckless shit. And I get it. To a certain degree, you a shock jock, and it's gotta be your thought, your subject matter has to be provocative. It kind of has to piss people off a little bit. But I think Academics goes way too far with it, jumps out the window way too much. He's gonna get his asshole kicked in one day if he ain't careful. Because bruh, it's some real cats still left out here. You understand what I'm saying? And he needs to be really, really, really careful.
And that's what I'm concerned about when it comes to my cousin, because that's my cousin's best friend.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. But Academics is Jamaican. My cousin's Jamaican. My cousin's actually in the Navy. And he always shoot me pictures whenever he's around him. And I told him, I said, when I found out, I was like, man, fucks with that dude like that. And like in his defense, my cousin said, the way he act on air is way different than what he acts on. We all know it's a facade, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, like I told my cousin, I said, I can't fuck with that dude because he sold his soul.
That's fake. That's
fraudulent.
Bullshit. So,
he's a total fraud.
And another thing too is you're my cousin, and you could get caught up just by affiliation with what the fuck he got going on. So my love is for you, cuzzo, not for him. So when I tell you things, I'm concerned about you, not him. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, my cousin is going to do what he's going to do. I can't stop that, but I just let him know how I feel about the situation. Because
You
if I was
spot
a
on.
person that stole my soul like that, I would just say, "Hey, cuz, hook me up," and he would throw me on the show with academics. So,
Yeah,
but that's not what we do. We don't
it's
do that because
unfortunate, man.
yeah,
But I,
because
I hate that notion that people like to do that. That really bothers me. I'm the kind
yeah,
of person where there's not much that I can say really actually gets under my skin. But that's something that actually really does irritate me, and I have a beef with that. The whole idea
mm,
that oh man, no, that's just my persona, or oh man, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. No,
That means you're a total fraud. That's what that
mm,
means.
whether they're just telling the truth and that's just a joke, or they're just saying to save their own ass, it's
It's ridiculous.
it's disgusting. As though that's supposed to save you, like you're playing tag or something as
Hmm.
kids, and then you're like, you got cooties, and that's supposed to keep people off you. Oh, he's got cooties, got to leave him alone. Okay, got to go somewhere. No,
mm,
it doesn't matter if you meant that with all your heart
Right.
or you said it to get some likes, whatever. You opened your mouth and you said what you said.
Say what you
And
said, bro.
especially if you're a public figure, you said it. It's not like you said it quietly to yourself or in a locked room where only you and I heard it, whatever. No, you said this out loud to an audience of people.
Yeah.
You
mm,
disrespected somebody. And again, I'm not talking about someone that has a controversial, unpopular opinion that might be a little heated or whatever, that it might be a hot take or whatever, and the person got offended with you or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm
Hmm.
talking about you said something. The objective is not to be helpful. It wasn't constructive criticism. You weren't trying to do some good by saying this. You just wanted to get your views, your clicks up. You just wanted to get some attention. It was
That's all.
110% self-serving. And
mm,
now when you about to get that work, all of a sudden no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. If
Nah.
anything, that should get your ass whooped harder
Yep.
to teach you a lesson.
An
mm,
And
extra
I hope
50
he and
licks.
and I hope he gets his ass whooped. I don't want him to get put in the ground,
Right.
but I'm a firm believer that sometimes the best thing for some people is to get their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Look, there is tremendous power in getting your ass whooped.
Tremendous power in the ass whoop. Real talk.
It's low key similar to people who get arrested. They out here living all wild and crazy in the world, whatever. They get jammed up, they get tossed in the beast. They gotta do a bid, and they can't run around. They can't um, distract themselves. They gotta sit there and have their consequence in their face.
Yeah.
And they either they find religion, they get themselves right. They they have a come to Jesus moment and realize, you know what, I gotta do something different. This ain't working. Ass whoopings work similar.
Yeah.
When
mm,
you out there getting pounded on, getting whooped on, you feeling the bone shift and crack. You out here, your face swelling, whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta confront some real stuff.
Real talk.
When you gotta put that ice pack on your face, you gotta go to the hospital. You gotta confront some real stuff with that.
It's
mm,
humbling. You dig? It's humbling to say the least.
And and that's one of the problems. I think that's why I think we have so many people out of pocket now, because when you live in an age where you can do things and you don't get consequences for them right away, that doesn't do you any favors. There's some people, if they would have gotten their ass that sound hitting them behind, they would have turned around from a lot of stuff a long time ago. But because they were allowed to get out of hand, when it finally came time to pay the bill,
Yeah.
they racked up their costs, and then something extreme had to happen. It's easier to check things when they're small than when they get out of control.
Real talk.
Academics, for his own good, needs his ass whooped because he ain't gonna
Agreed.
get it no other way.
Agreed.
And the thing is, he's racking up so much debt because he's really getting wild. He's really going out with a lot of people. At this point in time, it could come from anywhere.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the thing that happened to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like R.I.P. to the great. But Tupac had so many beefs with so many people. When he got killed, unfortunately, the cops were able to just kind of shrug it off as, hell, this guy had beef with everybody.
And even
Could
the
have been
streets could dig
anybody.
because usually the streets know, and you hear some
Streets
people
know.
say, "Man, everyone know who took out Pac," and that's BS because everybody do not know who took out Pac.
Right.
People saying that because they just want to let them to know, but the reality is nobody knows. All these snitches, all these informants out here. You want to tell me there's no detective that wants to make that big old break and have the name on that case of the detective that solved of the
Mm.
Tupac Shakur murder? Yeah,
Mm.
please. That's valuable information out there in the streets. That's going to shave off hella time off cat sentences. That's how they're snitching or whatever. Don't nobody know who did it because it could be so many people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that board game Clue. Was Professor Mustard in the library with the canister holder? You don't know.
Mm.
So it's crazy to go out here racking up enemies unnecessarily just because you so desperate to make a name for yourself. If
Right.
that's how you got to go and get your paper, you doing it
Right.
wrong, man.
Real
Definitely.
talk.
Doing it all the way wrong.
Definitely. Definitely a wrong route to go about. Well, it's always going to come to everything always hits a wall whenever it's reckless, right? Something that's out of control will end up hitting a wall. That day is going to come if he doesn't straighten up. So I definitely want to get into this other topic we had that was pretty it had a lot of I had got a lot of comments on it, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
likes, a lot of shares, and that was this
Haha.
quote that this sister had put up. It's called, she says, men don't fetishize hood rats like women fetishize hood dudes. Not even close.
Mm.
So when I read this, I was like, damn, that to me is facts, right? Because of the simple fact that she's not saying that men don't fetishize hood rats at all. She's just saying on the level there's a big gap. That's like, it's not saying you don't run the race with somebody, but somebody told you about the race and said, man, that person dusted him so bad it wasn't even close.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got from it. And I know it was a difference of opinions that you guys, I said facts, you guys had a little different notion on it. So I just wanted to come on here because I told Major was going to go in, and I said, you know what, save it for the show and
Mm-hmm.
let everybody see what the differences are. So
Yeah.
yeah, you could go ahead and you
Bet.
want to
Bet.
yeah.
Bet. Yeah. Like I said on the post, because you made a clarification to your statement later as to what you were actually trying to say. That I actually agreed with. You later on in the we were going back and forth. You were like, women tend to take hood dudes and want to make husbands out of them way more than guys want to take hood rats and make wives out of them. That I
Yeah,
can
that's
actually
pretty
agree
much.
with. I agree with that statement
But that's what I'm
because
saying.
it's true.
That's where the statement really was broken down from when the
Yeah,
original statement. That's how I perceived this statement. That's why
right.
I
I
said what I
get that.
said.
I get
Mhm.
that's how you perceived it, but that's not what it's saying. It's saying, just broadly speaking, it's not talking about marriage. It didn't say anything about marriage. It didn't say anything about commitment.
Mhm.
It simply said men as a group do not fetishize hood rats the way women fetishize hood dudes. It didn't say anything about levels of commitment and all that stuff. That's a different conversation. Men as a group don't fetishize hood rats. Like what? Nah, bro. That is not true.
Like women fetishize hood dudes is a
Right.
comparison.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. That's not true because men as a group fetishize hood rats on a ridiculous level. I've sent you some examples, of these, these hood rats that, I mean, men, you look at Cardi B's OnlyFans doing
Mhm.
a couple million a month. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly, anyway, but I believe it, because you got guys out here, who spend their whole check in the strip club. You got, like, I sent you that video, Sexy Red. We all know how much of a hood rat Sexy Red is. Dude's walking up to her on the street, begging her to lick her toes in public. What does that say? And look, I know you don't get it, on that level because we're sophisticated dudes. We don't move like that. But
No,
it's
no,
a lot. When I
I
say a lot, it's a lot of
yeah,
dudes
but
out here.
that's the same thing as saying like we have a lot of dudes that's dusty and don't take care of their children. Yes, on a anomaly level, what we see, where there's some niggas out here not taking care of their kids. But statistically, on a large level, it's a different story.
Well, I get that,
Black
but
men on the
go
black
ahead.
men are number one when it comes on a large level. So if you
I
have an
agree with
issue with
that.
your baby daddy, then that's on you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. On that level, on a large scale level, not what we see, because it's going to be confined to music videos, rappers, and we already know how that is controlled, and that's propaganda. But on a large level, I can prove to you that women are more into hood dudes, and that's why I said wifing them, because every woman wants a hood dude. Every woman wants a hood dude, and
Nah, I wouldn't say
they're
that.
wifing.
I wouldn't say that. And I don't think that there is a way to prove that, because those are not statistics that we monitor. You know what I'm saying? We do monitor, and there is empirical data that will tell you, who are fathers that are present. There's a ledger that tells, what fathers spend, whatever the case may be. These things are not things that we monitor. That's why I said, okay, you started immediately going to the rap songs and talking about the roughneck and this and that. It's like, man, if that's there's no way you win that argument, because we have way more songs fetishizing hood rats than female rappers have fetishizing hood dudes, and it's way more of us. So even if you know what I'm saying, like, there's way more male
I'd
rappers
say it's
to
about
do.
equal because we
I
may not
think
have the song content, but you have to look in the other areas where women tend to dominate. So women might not have as many songs about it, but if you look at all these urban literature novels, even if it's
Mhm.
not a woman necessarily writing it, these books are written for the women. Eric Jerome Dickey and them, they're not writing books for dudes. Some dudes do read it, but by and
Mhm.
large, it's the women that supporting these things. Even the junk little I don't know what they call them, like the little small ebooks now, whatever.
mhm.
Those are geared towards the women, and the women are out here buying, shopping them things up like crazy. I remember I forgot the brother's dude name. He used to live down here. He's in L.A. now, I think. Quan Mills, whatever. He's gone viral multiple times for putting out the most ratchet hood books ever. The my cousin my baby mama got roaches in the crib or whatever, all kind of stuff like that, all that junk stuff or whatever. These crazy, ridiculous, over the top hood book of novels, and mind you, these little books are going for like less than $5 ebooks.
Mhm.
So I just,
But they
yeah,
have literally made that dude a millionaire. He's dropped the receipts. He is paid. He
Mhm.
might
exactly.
not be at the Stephen King level. So also I think it fetishizes in different ways. So I think they equal. It's about equal, run neck and neck. But I think the difference is what they fetishize them for. So dudes might go out and say, "Oh, I want to go lick sexy red's toes, whatever. I want to do this and that and the third with them." But when dudes fetishize these hood rats, they're thinking short term. They're thinking about, I want to take that home. I want to rail that tonight. I want to go ahead and lay up with that for the weekend, for a week, maybe even a month. I want this to be the jump off.
Yeah.
But they're not thinking about a long term future with her. They're not
Right.
saying, man, I found my wife. I can't wait to make her my missus. I can't wait to have children with her. They're not thinking like that. It's now it happens, but not because it was the plan. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Now, women will go and fetishize hood niggas, but they do think long term.
Yeah.
We've heard women
Agreed.
say we talked about this on that post. You have women that will say all kind of contradicting things, like they want a hood nigga that's mean as hell. He's a thug with everybody, but with me he's a big old teddy bear, and that's just their fantasy. They want that, and it's not even little teenage girls that think like that. It's grown women saying that they want a dude like that.
With
That's basically
degrees.
this low down killer. He'll put you down as soon as shake your hand, but with her, he's this big old softy, whatever. He's just got a soft spot in his heart for her, whatever. And
Right.
women will go and see that and think, I want to settle down with this the one, whatever. Girl,
Mm.
I'm getting them tattooed on me and everything. I can't wait for them to propose. Women will think long term with those type of dudes. Dudes ain't thinking beyond the next few nuts with them hood boogers.
Agreed. And I,
And
I said that. I said Anthony was right about that. But that's
but that's
not the
what I'm
point
saying.
that post is making.
Yeah, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is on the post, this is what I'm saying. When you look at it, it's saying a distance, right? It is a big gap. And why I say that is because look at this, look at this. Because we're looking at it from music wise, right? But
Mhm.
I put up roughneck and all that. Yeah, like Bobby said, we might have more on a music wise, but that's selling record. But when you go into different areas, like he just said about the book, we don't have there's no show with men running around looking for women locked the fuck up. We can go down to the street and see that. You know what I'm saying? This is geared for women. Look, the guys are the prisoners. These are women coming in. We even had TikTok, single women looking for men in prison. This is crazy.
That is crazy.
Social media groups geared towards that.
These women seek out romantic relationships with incarcerated men. There's so many statistics that show. And remember, women outnumber men on a mass level, because when you put in incarceration and stuff like that, the women's numbers are way more. So that's why I say, when you talk about the gap of it, it is going to be a big gap. Look at this. Women who love convicts, how far the love beyond, love after lockup, and Mob Wife, joined 65,000 empowered women on this movement. It ain't say no goddamn men.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm actually forgetting that there actually is a term for that, though, and I think that actually does lend straight to the argument. I remember I forget my dude Ted Sandos brought this up a while ago. Hybristophilia. That's one of these philies where there's a sexual interest in and if you think about it, if you actually understand the definition of this, there's a lot of women that fit the bill for this. It's basically an attraction, a sexual interest and attraction to those who commit crimes. And if you think about it, just about every single major serial killer, from Gacy to
Charles Manson,
Dahmer, Manson, whatever, the BTK killer, all these different dudes out here, all of them, they have a legion of female fans who write letters, they put money on their books, they express how they want to be with them. In some cases, women have even helped some of these dudes break out of jail and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And you really don't have dudes out here doing it like that for no women. Yeah. I've seen sometimes they had like a picture to go viral of a female inmate or whatever, and dude's like, "Dang, she fine. Hey, she can come rob me if she wants to."
They do that.
There's no movement of dudes like that to go ahead and get with these chicks. So in hindsight, I'm gonna change my position. I do agree with you. These are certain things that women
I just want to show you
unjustly suffer. Well,
I just want to show you this real quick, man. I just want to show you this real quick.
Sure, sure.
So you have, this is Juicy J, because I know you wrote some of the lyrics, right? Which is true, right? Men are fetishizing in lyrics, but that's why I say they sell these dreams to sell records. This is Juicy J. Juicy J fetishized the fuck out of people in his music. Look who he laid up with. That's not no hood rat chick.
Well, that's the one we take seriously.
Yeah, he's married to her, right? Yeah.
That's the one we take seriously.
So, look, T-Pain. I didn't even know T-Pain was married to his girl for over 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
You got Jay-Z, you got Jeezy.
Jeezy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This man ain't even gonna marry a black chick. This man went all the way out. And that's another self-hating shit that I really don't like. She
definitely ain't a hood
that shit. Because
that's something else.
Her racism, I ain't fucking with that either.
I've never heard her be racist before.
What?
She said some slick things.
Really?
She said some racist
things. Her mother? Oh, you got to go see that. Go see that episode on The Real when she brought her mother on there.
Word.
Yo.
Word.
I didn't hear about that episode.
I didn't either.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
I didn't know. That's why it was before Jeezy got with her. And I'm like, damn, that's why her mother was like, and her mother's a gold digger. She's a racist gold digger, right?
Yeah.
But, her mother was saying, and she even took away from some of it. She was like, yo, I couldn't tolerate my mother because she was so controlling and telling me this. And, to see that fact that she didn't even want to give Jeezy a time of day. She was so stuck on her daughter marrying that white guy, who the white guy ended up not having a child with her and just parted ways. And that hurted her mother more than it hurted herself. You know what I'm saying? But man, that shit is deep rooted, dog.
Makes sense. I did not know she was racist like that. Very interesting. I got to check that out.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
But yeah, you definitely uncovered some stuff there. I didn't even know that was going on, or whatever the case may be. But like I said, there's no number really that quantifies that either way. But
Correct.
I do also I agree with Bobby's first position. Maybe now that you've shown some of those things,
Mm,
maybe it's about the same. I mean, we have a very, very serious and pronounced problem with men in black society in particular
correct.
fetishizing hood rats.
Correct.
Bruh, it's out of control. You know what
Correct.
I'm saying? It really is. And even those guys that you just put up, Jeezy's married to this woman, and Juicy J's married to this woman. That doesn't mean that they don't still fetishize hood rats.
Correct.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And that's the whole thing. When you start talking about what people fetishize, well, especially for guys, this is a little something that I'm gonna dust off anyway. I'm not taking it too seriously, but you have a very strong point that you made initially about, I think what you just did even accentuates that about how a lot of women will tend to want to be serious,
Mm,
marry, reproduce with a lot of these low level dudes. And let me just make sure I add this caveat. I'm not
mm.
banging on my hood dudes to make it seem like because you're a hood dude, you're a low level
Oh
dude.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
speaking I'm speaking of the hood dudes that act out the hood stereotypes. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm speaking of low level hood dudes that consider themselves low level. You understand what
Mm,
I'm saying? And females that are the same. You know, it's very widespread in either instance. But like I said on her post, the rest of what she said, it's not even close. That
mm.
would be to say that it's not even like men fetishize hood rats that much. That's just not true. We
Yeah,
fetishize hood
it's
rats on an astronomical level, and even if it's the same with the women or whatever, or it's close, it's a problem on both sides because what happens is when you fetishize and you pedestalize the lowest common denominator, the lowest form of the men in your community or the women in your community, then you end up not showing much love to the real stars, the real women who are really
correct.
solid sisters who are out here doing what they're supposed to do, and the real
Correct.
brothers who are out here handling business as well. You end up,
Mm,
a lot of times people criticize guys because they're like, you're always criticizing women, you're always criticizing women. Fee says this a lot. You gotta water the plants that you want to grow, which is true.
mm,
I agree with that. The flip
mm,
side of that, though, and she said made a post not too long ago talking about y'all so mad how long y'all gonna be mad, and I didn't comment on it, but just because you want to avoid circular discussions. But I've
yeah,
answered it before, and the simple answer is when the goddamn behavior changes and not before. You understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? You
yeah.
can't
Right.
keep doing the same dumb shit that you've been doing and asking me why I'm still mad. That doesn't
True.
make
As
sense.
as the
You
saying
understand?
goes, nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I agree. We all need to, be a little more patient with each other, and
Mm,
we need to treat each other better. True. But when you are out here as a group, you're promoting this thought culture. You're promoting,
mm,
slut culture. You're promoting, men being disrespected openly, misandry, so forth and so on. You're promoting that constantly.
mm,
Every issue that comes out, like I point out all the time, you got a goddamn excuse if somebody
mm.
with a pair of titties did something wrong, and you banging if somebody with a dick did something wrong.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense. We can't move forward that way. Everybody has to be held accountable. You know what
correct.
I'm saying? We can't hold one group of people accountable. That happy
Correct.
wife, happy life bullshit is dead. It's
Correct.
happy spouse, happy house, or you can
Yeah.
take your ass on. And that's the long and short of it. And I think, a sister, I told you that sister put up that post. Well, y'all men are really putting y'all foot down. I see somebody else put a post up of last week. Boy, the men are just not having it no more. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
letting nothing slide. You damn right. And
Yeah.
I say, press harder on the gas
Yeah.
because that it's working. People think twice, 3, 4 times before they come out their mouth stupid now. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas before they were so comfortable. You know, people don't like getting dragged. People don't like being shamed, especially when they know that they did something that they should be shamed for. Exactly. So, yeah, you know, you got to keep busting them in the mouth until you knock out some damn teeth. You understand? Okay, now you got to go to the dentist and get some work done. Now you got some act right. That's what it's going to take, you know, because this whole culture where you just, you know, do anything, this anything goes culture, where you're not going to get checked at the door, it's dead now. We're tired of it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that, because I want to show you guys a group of videos. And like I say, the reason why I brought this dialogue on air is because I want to show you how we're not trying to divide and make, this isn't gender warring. We're just identifying what both sides do, right?
Yeah.
And I want people to understand, like, at the end of the day, we need each other. It ain't, it's knucklehead. We just did a show called Dusty Dudes and Hood Rats. Yeah. So we're not eliminating fuckery on both sides of the equation.
Correct.
There's fuckery on both sides. Mm-hmm. The accountability needs to be drawn on both sides. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos and take heed to what these people are saying, all right?
He hit the nail on the head for me.
Sent me a video the other day. It was of a lady. She said she was in her 40s, and she was just basically saying now that she done pretty much bossed up and does well for herself, the things that she thought that she needed, she no longer feels she needs those things. An example she used is basically a man. Like she feels she does well for herself financially, so she don't need no man to take care of her. So her thing is she doesn't feel she needs a man now. She just wants a man. She had different reasons she felt she wanted a man. And I ain't disagreeing with her other video. It's just how I was explaining it to somebody the other day. I said, man, listen, if I want you, but I know I don't need you, that want is never going to be enough to get me to do right by you. Because I don't need you. I'm not afraid to lose you when I just want you. And the example I gave them was, it's like my grandparents who had been together 50-some years. They needed each other. He needed her, she needed him. Not just financially, they needed each other. They felt they couldn't live without each other. And if I don't need you and you don't need me, we just fuck around. If you just want me and I just want you, that's all we doing.
Heavy.
Keep talking about y'all won't settle. These black men have had to settle. Y'all not virgins. Settle. You're coming with kids. Settle. You're coming with multiple baby daddies. Settle. Shake. Settle. Angry, bad attitude. Settle. Masculine as fuck. Settle. Fake hair, fake nails, fake lashes, fake face. Settle. Now y'all have the nerve, the audacity, and the boldness to say you're settling. You won't even date a bus driver? Then you try to clean up, talking about you just want black men to excel. Well, then they should get their passport and go somewhere else and find women that will inspire them to. Because y'all ain't it. Y'all over here in delusion, man. But good luck.
Wow. Hey, send me that, please.
You married?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking to get about. I'm about to be 55. I'm about to be double nickel.
Double nickel, yeah.
Double nickel. So,
what you think about it, though?
I want to get.
Wait. Let's pretend these cameras ain't here.
Yeah.
It's me and you, Bob Shop. I've been talking like they ain't here anyway. What your views on marriage? What do you think?
I would have loved to have gotten married earlier in my career, but my career was the most important thing. So I was no good. I was a terrible father. I probably was a terrible brother, a terrible son. I definitely was a terrible boyfriend because football was the most important thing. Right. I was consumed with that. And I was consumed with that because I wanted to get my grandmother and my family out of the conditions that I grew up in. And I said, if I had kids, I didn't want them to spend 1 hour, let alone a year like I spent. So I focused on that. That was the only thing that mattered.
Right.
And I had a lot of women say they could be okay with being with number 2 to football. But when it came right down to it and they see how devout I was in it, they couldn't be.
Right.
And I said, okay. But now I started to realize as I've gotten older in my life, everything that I've accumulated doesn't mean anything if I don't have anybody to share it with. And it took me spending time alone to realize that, yes, Shannon, you're great at what you do.
Wow. So I'm going to say this last one right here.
I saw that
with
before.
no
Game.
hose. Where are you?
So the men with hose are up here, receiving all of the attention from the hose, including you. And the men without hose are down here, trying to contact you.
Woo! Yo!
Oh, gosh. Oh,
We need to have him on the show.
Boy,
We need to have him on the show with that diagram.
that is a big old that is a deep swimming pool that is very, very wide. I don't know where we're supposed to dive in at first. That's a lot of surface area to go. Let me just say something in regards to the sister that was chopping it up about the whole aspect of settling. And I said this the other day. When you understand or when you really comprehend, because some people say it, but clearly, evidently, they're saying it just to look good or just for cloud purposes. They don't actually really believe that. But when we say that nobody is perfect, that everybody is flawed, the idea of settling becomes a very silly concept to even entertain. We're all at different levels. Some people are at higher levels than others, some are at lower levels than others. But we're all at different levels and in different areas because that's not universal. You could be and I know Jason Black has spoken about this before on his the business broadcast. He's talking about being a 10. You need to be at least a 10 in one area of your life. You can't just be an average ass 5 or a garbage ass 1 in all areas of your life. You need to be exceptional at something somewhere. Not just for professional purposes, but in your dating life as well too. If you're not very attractive, if you aren't in the best shape, if you're fat, male or female, you know, if you are 5 in those areas, you had better be a 10 in your attitude and your personality. You better be a 10 in intelligence. You know, if you're not very smart, if you don't have the best attitude, you're 5 in those areas. You better be a 10 in looks. You better be so drop dead gorgeous that every time somebody looks at you, they forget about all the flaws that you got going for you. But you can't just be content to be average all the way around or slacking and just say, well, I'm not settling. No. If you are an imperfect person, then that means people are going to have to settle to deal with you as well. People don't like to talk about that. You refuse to settle for such and such. You refuse to settle. What about all the people who refuse to settle, which means by default they wouldn't be dealing with your ass? That you think is the center of the solar system. That you think 24/7 shoots out a Glade and Airwick and Febreze scents.
Real talk.
Now, you could say that there's people that you're not compatible with, people that are lacking in certain areas that you desire and require, but the idea that you're settling, no. Because the same way how your settling is beneath you, by default, that's going to place you beneath a lot of other people. So some humility needs to come into place. And I said to somebody the other day, you know, this whole idea of I'm not an exceptional person, but I insist on not want or desire, but I insist on only having exceptional, and anything less than exceptional is beneath me. This has got to be the most crack-headed special ed standoff in human history. This is literally the bad guy holding a hostage with the gun pointed at himself, and all the cops out there pointing guns at themselves right back, and they just had a standoff. Don't think I'm gonna pull the trigger. You pull it, you're dead. You're dead. You just gonna take yourself out of the equation. And if it was getting results, it'll be one thing. But people are not happier. People are telling themselves they're happier. See, I can do battle by myself. I don't need somebody else. But you could be doing great with somebody else. And I spoke about this before. How just because you might not have the budget for shopping at Neiman Marcus or Hermes or Balenciaga or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can't find perfectly good deals at a Jimmy Jazz or a Marshalls even. Hell, if all you can afford is Goodwill, there's some good deals right there in the Goodwill bin.
Real talk.
I believe it was the dating. Can't remember her name. No, Rebecca Lynn Pope, the dating coach sister. She said she realized that she no longer wanted to work with female clients when after she found her husband, she heard one of her clients talking about the kind of man that she wanted to deal with. And after she had gotten with her husband and she was so amazed at how wonderful a man he was, when she heard the woman going on what she wanted, what she refused to accept, she realized, based on this woman's standards, not only was her husband not the lady's type, but her husband would have been considered inferior. And she was like thinking, well, this is an amazing man. I'm experiencing this myself. He isn't what I necessarily would have considered before, but he's everything I've ever actually wanted. I just didn't realize it. And then she realized that after seeing a whole ton of clients who thought the same way that this woman did, she realized, you know what? I can't do this because I can't work with y'all. You all are impossible. You're not realistic. I would
Real
either have to
talk.
basically finesse you and just take your money and just be content with that,
Mm-hmm.
or I'd have to give you the real, then you'd leave and I wouldn't get paid anyways because I'm not giving you what I'm not feeding your ego.
Mm-hmm.
We have got to stop this. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
You do not need to have somebody. If you get somebody exceptional, that's amazing. That's fantastic. That's great. If you win the lotto, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is not practical to say, I'm not going to work a job. I'm only going to go out and buy these lottery tickets because this I'm supposed to make my money. I refuse. Working is beneath me. What's going to happen? Yo, goofy ass going to be right there under the bridge in a cardboard box.
There you go.
Where you belong.
And you set yourself
You
up for
need
it.
to be homeless. You don't
Yes.
deserve to have a house with running water and
Yes.
air conditioning and a bed. You deserve to be in cardboard with your
Mm-hmm.
dumbass. Same rules apply. So we
That's
need to
why
really have this mindset adjustment. Stop it. Why are you cheating yourself? Because you're the only person that's hurting. You ain't hurting nobody else. If anything, truth be told, you're doing a lot of people a service by keeping that broken attitude on the sidelines. But you're
and
hurting yourself, and life could be a lot better if you would just get out your own way. Get
yes,
over yourself.
and that's why I love the Shannon when Shannon said, "I have all what I wanted, and I still feel empty and alone. I should
That's
have
called
married."
accountability.
Exactly.
That's
And
called accountability.
And
the reason
honesty.
why the reason why I like that so much is because a lot of women put their career before their family or their spouse. They were so consumed with their career. You have a lot of women that's on that path, and they're going down the same path as Shannon. And he's a man. And that's the crazy part. You see what I'm saying?
Men typically are better and that's not to say that they do it more. I'm not saying that men do it more. But men are more likely to make that confession right there than women are.
Of
And
course.
I keep saying this. I keep saying this. I know people disagree, and it's cool. Live a little longer. Really pay attention.
Man.
Really pay attention. Live a little longer, even if you're older than me. Live a little longer. You will see for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The male ego is strong, but the female ego is mighty.
Listen, especially when you start talking about the female ego as it pertains to how great she is on the
The
dating
vanity.
market, how great
Yeah.
she is on the dating market, and how great she is as a woman. A man may have his ego come into place, regarding how much money he's got, or how fit he is or whatever. But when you start talking about the specific topic of how big-headed women are simply because they are women, I'm a woman and I'm here, so therefore I'm a queen. No, that has to be earned. We don't know. You carry yourself like shit, but you still want everybody to address you and treat you as a queen. Nah, player, it don't work like that. It's society just kisses their ass. 1 trillion
That's the
percent.
biggest part of the problem.
1 trillion percent. I love the Shannon Sharp clip because of the accountability.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones, not so much. Plies said a lot of really, really powerful things in his clip. Ply says a lot of things. He's a very intelligent brother, by the way. But when you start talking about this whole I don't need no man neck waving, the whole I don't need no man neck waving mentality, you understand? That informs, yeah, exactly, exactly what Bobby's doing right now. That informs a whole a whole culture of debauchery and degenerate behavior towards men. He talked about in that clip how his grandmother and grandfather needed each other. That is because, as society would have it, that was the temperature. You dig? That's what everybody was on back then. We need each other. Brothers and sisters need to work together. You understand? But what they do, like they do in the music groups and like they do everywhere else, they take it, they isolate this one nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And they say, hey, you're special. That's what they're doing with black women right now. Hey there, Quisha, you're special. And then they give her a nice little weave, whatever the case may be, give her a little token position, whatever the case may be. And
Facts.
she starts buying that shit. There's a sister I know right now, afraid because of some things that she has done. Let's just say that, and she don't have nobody to really look out for her. You know what I'm saying? She's done some things, some good things actually, but she don't have nobody to really look out for her. But at the same time, you got in this position and you felt like you were better than the rest of the niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And you had access to be able to get people jobs or whatever the case may be. You even dangled it over some of their heads, right? I can get jobs. I got these connects. I got those connects. Then when it comes time for you to actually fulfill and come through on the connect, you disappear. Done that to a few people that I know, right? And then you scared because, you did this or you did that. And, now some folks that found out about something that you did, which was really, a good thing and something that you did for the community. But them folks then found out. You know what I'm saying? And now they know your name. They know where you work, whatever the case may be. But then I go back to how you didn't, you could have brought some brothers in to insulate yourself so that when you walking down to your car, you got a couple brothers walking with you. You got a couple brothers around the office with you. Yep. But no, you were special. You ain't need no man. Okay, well, shit. Now when they come for your ass, you fight them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get off that. We don't need each other. That's bullshit. And it can get very dangerous after a while. Same thing with these sisters that was getting beat up at these nail salons.
Yeah.
It was a whole damn thing. Every week I was seeing a sister getting beat up at some damn Asian nail salon. And then when the brothers went out there to protest the nail salon, the sisters started getting up in the brothers' faces. You need to get from around here. They giving out these bundles for 50% off. We don't need you. Ain't nobody asked you to come out here. Okay, no problem.
Next week talking about the black woman is the most disrespected.
Black
men don't defend black women.
You got to stop talking out both sides of your mouth.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to be consistent, and you can't let these fools come at you with this game and do these Jedi mind tricks on you and play you to the point where you're in a position now where you're behind the 8 ball and you're endangered. The brothers stood down, and the next week another sister got swung on.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like because the brothers had them shook. The next week another sister got swung on. So, sisters, ladies in particular, you as a woman, you are, and you are supposed to be, a part of a protected class.
Yep.
And so you don't have the luxury to be able to get out here and start talking this I don't need no man BS and neck waving, because at the end of the day, part of the reason why you're so protected, or the reason why you're so protected, is because of the men around you.
Yeah.
Bobby said something. I didn't get to put it in the thing that I created. Right, I did a thing. We're gonna have that in a couple weeks. But he sent me a quote, and it said, in fact, Bobby, I might have to ask you to send me that quote again with a little more energy.
Oh,
but
man.
it was so powerful. It was so
I gotta
powerful. It
remember
said,
it.
"Men matter. We are the dividing line between chaos and order." I was like, damn. You feel me? But that is so real. I'm gonna need you to send me that again, Bobby. That is so real. And nobody gives us the credit for that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to start putting some respect on our name if you want us to keep showing up for you. That's the long and short of it. And brothers, you don't hear brothers running. If we were doing the same thing, I would say the same. But you don't really hear brothers by and large run around talking about we don't need women.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that. Quite the contrary. Someone put up a post like this the other day. When a brother get his money right, the first thing he wants to do is go out and find a woman and provide for her and build a life around her. That's the first thing we want to do.
Yeah.
A woman get her money right, I don't need no man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a serious disconnect, and yes, there are certain things that both of us do, but as you saw in those clips, more often than not, the men will take accountability for the things that they do. Shannon Sharp took accountability for his screw-ups. Damn, that I did this. He said I was a terrible father. How many people go around saying stuff like that? And I should have done this differently. That's what we need from y'all. You know what I'm saying, sisters? That's what we need from y'all. And some of you do it. And I see a lot of sisters stepping up and speaking to that we need to see that same type of energy from sisters, because that's how we grow. When we both acknowledge our flaws and say, hey, let's come together, sit down at the table and fix this, because I need you, sisters. I need you, brothers. I would like to ideally not hear any woman, any black woman say ever again, I don't need no man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And, if we can get to that point and the brothers stop, brothers don't really say that, but, anything that brothers are saying that is abrasive to sisters, if we can just withhold our fire a little bit, and like Jason Black said, be a little more patient with each other, I think we can come to some phenomenal solutions.
Definitely. I think definitely that's what we need to come to. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we need each other. And like I say, that display that happened at the boat dock just shows you that we need each other. Because remember, if the woman had picked up that chair and slapped her across the head, it probably wouldn't be a big deal for some people, because it'd be seen as just like when I'm glad the woman threw the woman inside the water. They ain't say nothing about that. But the woman needed to be there to throw another woman in the water. You can't say nothing because it's a woman on woman. You feel me? So definitely, we need each other. I'm gonna show you a clip real quick.
I got you. Don't break that clothes over. Yes, I'm still here. Get it down here right away.
It's too hot out here.
Yeah, the ambulance. It's on the way. Somebody has to put it on quickly. which may be more dehydrated.
All right, so our young brothers out here helping our elderly queen that must have passed out from the sun. I know
Wow.
we always talk about our youth not always doing good, but when they do good, we don't shed light on it. But shout out to those
Right.
two dudes
Yes.
for doing what they're doing. I'm gonna see if I can find those dudes out. If I can find them, I'll definitely bring them on the show. We need to encourage what these young brothers and sisters are doing out here.
Real talk.
Start shedding more light because when they see that that they're getting the recognition for doing good, just like the young Aquaman brother who swam across, he started to see like, damn, I'm out here doing good and people hailing me as a hero. That's what we need to start doing, backing up our youth and letting them know
Right.
when they do good stuff out here, oh, you get the reward, you get the praises. So that way they can be encouraged to keep doing more. And then when other people see that they're getting the encouragement, they're gonna want it's infectious. They're gonna want to be encouraged too. So they'll go out there and find something to do that's it positive and be encouraged in that way as well.
Real talk.
Right.
I
You got to
definitely
pour
want
into
to
them.
I definitely want to show this to you guys. So remember, fellas, we do have to draw our weight as well. So think about this, right? When choosing a woman who works, you have to accept the fact that she can't handle the house. If you have chosen a housewife who can take care of you and fully manage your household, you have to accept that she is not earning money. If you choose an obedient woman, you must accept that she depends on you and you must ensure her life. If you decide to be with a strong woman, you have to accept that she is tough and she has her own opinion. If you choose a beautiful woman, then you will have to accept big expenses. If you decide to be with a successful woman, you must understand that she has a character and has her own goals and ambition. There's no such things as perfect. Everyone has their own riddle, which makes us unique. So basically, what we're saying is if you desire somebody, just understand that in one area, they're lacking it. And I think that goes back to what you were saying, Major, about how we kind of fulfill each other. When I showed the clip about how Playa said his grandmother needed his grandfather and his grandfather needed his grandmother because back in the days, remember, our women used to be our financial advisors, our financial accountants and stuff like that. So we would give the whole check. Our grandfathers, or even fathers used to give their checks to their spouse, and they would divide everything up and make sure the bills are paid. And the father knows that he might have been a little reckless with it, so he want to make sure that he's taking care of the household and he don't go squandering off gambling or whatever he knows his recklessness might come in and affect the whole household. So they needed each other. You know what I'm saying? She needed the protection. She needed a man to go around the house and fix things and do all this other stuff. So it was a balance. So whatever she lacked in, he took care of, and whatever he lacked in, she took care of. And we got to understand that part. So when you go out here and you asking, everybody's not going to be perfect in all areas. There's going to be some areas that you're just going to have to, muscle up and make sure you overcompensate because they might be lacking. So always keep that in mind when you're out here looking for a mate and the things you might want to find within a mate. With
Yeah,
that
I
being
think a
said,
couple of those were a little off, but for the most part, I
yeah,
agree with it. A couple of them
correct.
were a little off, though. You don't, because you have a beautiful woman doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money, and because you have a woman who works does not mean that she cannot keep house. But I get where they're going with it.
Correct.
There's trade-offs to everything. The
Yeah,
Yeah,
idea that there's one that's going to be perfect, that's going to have no issues, it's a complete fallacy.
correct.
Ultimately, everything's going to come with its pros and cons. What you have to do is, and because this seems to be something people are very much averse to doing, you need to sit your ass down with the particular person that you want. Actually, let's not even get there. We really jumped the shark with that. Forget the person. Before you even go out there and call yourself trying to date anybody, you need to sit with your damn self and you need to come up with, what do I want? What is it that
Yep.
I'm looking for? What are the different options? What are going to be the pros of these? What are going to be the cons of these things? What do I absolutely have to have? What is non-negotiable for me? I'm willing to sit on this, budge on this. I'm not going to move another inch beyond this. What are the things I'm flexible on? You need to figure out what are your non-negotiables and negotiables.
Real
Most
talk.
people don't do this, and
Mm-hmm.
they go simply based off of well, this person's attractive, or I like this, that, and the third, and they don't really get into the meat and potatoes of what's important to them. And so when they actually go deal with somebody, again, they're not going to get into the important meat and potatoes thing. That's why you have people that get married or that relationships for years and years and years, and they're breaking up because of something stupid. And it's like, well, damn, you didn't know that from the beginning, man. Man, she was this way, man. She just changed it. But did this person change up on you, or did you just never bother to ask or even
There you
inquire
go.
about such and such?
There you go.
There are some issues that pop up that just change the game, but most of the time, it's something stupid that you could have figured out way early and gotten ahead of, or just said in advance, you know what, this ain't gonna work. This is gonna be a problem down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just cut our losses now.
Real talk.
But if you don't have that hard conversation with yourself first, bring them with people that have those conversations that you're dating, and then be willing to stand on these things.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you get.
You're
So
going nowhere fast.
find out, what can I deal with? Do I need someone that's gonna keep the house? Or can we split those duties, or maybe can we outsource? Can we just go ahead and say you're just gonna pay for a cleaning lady or a maid to come and do this or whatever?
Right.
Or
No doubt.
if I can I deal with a woman who's not gonna be home a lot because she's out here working just as hard as I am, or maybe more, or whatever.
That's smart.
Correct.
Make these decisions, but ultimately everything is going to be hard. You have to simply choose your hard. Choose the hard that you can deal with.
Correct. Correct. All right. So with that being said, we're going into our hell nah, hell no session. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let go.
All right. Let's get it. All right. Keith David. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's my guy. That's my guy.
David? Who's Keith
Keith
David?
David. That's my
The guy that the guy who played
that's Noodles Pops from ATL.
Yeah. The guy who
He's
was
always
in Greenleaf. The
him
daddy.
too.
You talked about him last week, and you thought he was somebody else. You thought he was Lamont Rucker.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, dude.
Keith David is the truth.
Yes.
Keith David is my old head spirit animal.
Yes.
Once I cross 40, that's what I want to be like. It's gonna be all them Jordan track shoots. It's gonna be them. That's what it's gonna be, right? That's my old head spirit animal right there.
Real talk. Love that guy, man.
Next up is Lizzo.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell to the no, bruh.
That is gonna be a mate. In the words of Rick James, played by Dave Chappelle, I wish I had two more hands so I could give our belly 4 thumbs down.
Bruh. Got me.
That's a no to our belly.
Hell
Say
no.
no to our belly.
That woman makes my ass itch. No.
All right. Chico Bean. Hell yeah. I like Chico.
Hell yeah. Chico Bean. I like Chico Bean.
Chico Bean is look, when he came down here to the Improv, I caught him live.
Yeah.
Man, I was laughing nonstop. That man had my whole midsection sore.
Okay.
Pause.
I gotta see him in person, man. Real talk.
That's gonna be money well spent, man. Trust that.
Okay. Bet. I'm gonna check him.
Next up is First Watch. Yeah, I like First Watch.
I've never been. I wanted to get y'all's opinion.
Never been?
Nah, I've never been to First Watch.
Yeah, it's good. I like
same. Every time I try to go, they always jam packed. But the problem is I'm not coming out. I'm not getting out of the house early enough. That's my issue.
Yeah.
But from people who go, I know usually the main brunch spots in the area are First Watch and Another Broken Egg. I like Another Broken Egg, but I know people who've had both that swear that First Watch is way past them.
Like that?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I like
that's
I gotta
what
check
I
them
hear.
out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take that L and get up
Ice food be
early one of these
good, man.
days.
It'd be hot. It'd be good. Yeah.
Legit? Okay.
And pretty healthy
Yeah.
too, from what I see.
Really?
Yes, because
Good
yeah,
ingredients.
they got like some waffles. I had got waffles. When I tell you that shit is so light, yo, I don't know what kind of damn mixture they use for that, but
Like
man,
that.
Mr.
it's
What
not.
you say? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not heavy on the
Okay.
stomach at all, bro. I love it.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna check them
Yeah.
out.
Next
Look
up
at
is
God. Okay.
IHOP.
I love
IHOP.
IHOP. Hell yeah for
IHOP is
IHOP.
Hey,
good.
look,
I never
IHOP been
fail.
good to a brother over the years.
Yes, I'm good with IHOP, especially if I'm in Georgia, because I damn
Yes.
sure ain't going to no damn Waffle House. They got me sick
Nah.
3 times. I'm
Real
straight.
talk.
Let me
Real
Google
talk.
IHOP.
IHOP done kept the block from starving. Salute to IHOP. Appreciate that.
Next up, Jim Jones.
Hell
Jim
no.
Jones you talking about?
Hell no.
What up,
No.
Willie?
Which John?
No.
I
Which
made the
Jim
whip
Jones
get
you talking
naked.
about? You talking
The
about the one
rapper.
that died?
The rapper.
Dipset.
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 I should have
I don't like none
specified.
of them Jim. I don't like none of them
One out,
Jim Jones.
Willie.
Him or the
I don't.
pastor.
I can't stand this guy. He's
He
always talking shit, man. And he's never won a
as a
battle. Always
he's
talking shit
corny.
about somebody who raps better than him.
He's corny.
I put him up there
He's
with
mid.
what's the deformed looking dude of the Source? What was that big dude?
Oh,
Big Maze?
Huh?
no.
Big Maze?
Benzino.
No.
Man, come on, Benzino. No neck
Benzino,
Benzino.
oh God.
Yeah. I got them two. I got them two at neck and neck, man. Those are some corny dudes.
The back of that boy's
God.
skull and his chin is surgically attached to his chest, man.
Alright.
But I will give Jim credit. I kind of have him sort of up there with Birdman for this. They're both garbage on the mic, but they have an
Agreed.
ear for good songs. They have an ear of on usually their features are on point, not because of them, but they just they tend to have an ear for a good track and jump on those. If it's a track with Birdman or Jim Jones on it, I'ma
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
know it's probably gonna be solid. They know music. They just ain't good at making it. But they know
Yeah.
music.
Jesus.
Alright.
Uh,
So the next up is energy drinks. Hell no. I don't do it.
Hell no, especially after the day. And the
Yeah, I don't do
conversation we
Yeah.
had with dude.
Yeah.
Gotta be exclusive with those. The only one, I mean, I used to when I was coming up, I used to be a big Red Bull head, but I had the
Yeah.
issue with the crash, and then I switched to sugar free ones to avoid the
Yeah.
crash. But that stuff is whack.
Yeah.
The only energy drink I ain't give no shout outs unless they're gonna cut your boy a deal. But the only energy drink I can say that I do drink when I have one is the Bang ones. They're pretty good. And I do like they have the CoQ10 in it, which is a good neural supplement that does help with boosting memory. And I don't get jitters with them. I think one of the things I like the most is they don't actually use sugar. They use a blend, I think, of sucralose and stevia, and I think it's more stevia than sucralose. So I can rock with that. I don't have them on a regular basis, but when I do sip something,
Mm.
it's usually that, and the flavors tend to not disappoint either. So, but
Careful with
like
that
brother
sucralose.
said, yeah, that's
Yes,
why I tend
they
to
have
not.
carcinogens in it.
Yeah, that's sucralose. That's that and aspartame. That's freaking chlorine.
Yeah,
And it gets in
man.
your system
Careful
and
with that.
metabolizes. That's why I don't touch that too much.
Yeah.
But what brother said is good. Black coffee, especially for like a pre-workout. I know some people that swear that make their own. They get like a black coffee, some honey, and like some maca root. That's great for energy.
Okay.
Also, you can get your hands on green. What is it? Green coffee extract. Green coffee bean extract.
Okay.
That's a good alternative as well too. It's like a kind of more refreshing blend. It's a little stronger as well.
G.
But yeah, straight with that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Next up is protein shakes. Yes, I fucks with protein shakes.
Protein shakes heavy.
Yes.
Got some right
Absolutely.
now. That
Especially
Herbalife.
post workout.
Woo.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Tiana.
I'm on that cellular core.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Tiana Taylor. Hell yeah, I like Tiana
Hell
Taylor.
yeah. Hell yeah. I tried to talk about stuff that pertains to working out and being healthy this week. That is one very fit sister. Shout out to her. She really looks like, she takes a lot of
She
pride in
is
keeping herself up.
dedicated to her fitness.
Yeah.
She treats her body like a temple, and it shows. She's in excellent shape, not just aesthetically, but If you've never seen her dance when she performs, or whatever, she moves very secure, very firmly. It's not like she's off balance, whatever. But her movement, she has great movement, great flexibility. She's in really top tier shape, and she really makes that a priority. I respect that. Gorgeous sister, wonderful family. Her and Shump, great couple.
Dope family,
Love
beautiful
them to
black
death,
family.
man.
Yes,
Beautiful. I love them.
Next up is Viola Davis. Now we talking about Viola as a person or an actress?
Let's go with actress. We can do her as a person later. I want to keep it positive this week. Yeah, let's go with her as an actress.
Okay. Yeah, she's a dope actress. I love her.
Dope actress. We'll do her as a person later.
I love
Viola Davis
love her
as
work.
Actress. Yes, hell yeah. She's one of the best in the game, bro.
Yes.
She really is.
Tour de force.
Extraordinary. Yeah.
Didn't she get one of those what they call? Didn't she pull that EGOT?
Yeah.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar. Yeah. That's a very difficult feat to pull off.
Beast.
Especially for us. And like is usually the case with a lot of us, she probably should have earned one of those a long time ago, but I'm glad she pulled it off. She's definitely one of the forces for actresses of our generation, of our time right now.
Right.
Definitely.
Caviar. Fuck no. Hell
no.
I haven't tried it.
Oh,
well, you eat sushi, right?
Like,
it's
see, here
fish
you go
egg.
with this land. Yes.
Fish egg.
Yes.
No. I'm asking if you eat sushi.
I've had roe before, which is like the fish eggs they sometimes toss in sushi. But I had that,
so you
and
eat
it's
it.
fine.
You eat caviar.
I know it tends to be high in salt, so I don't know if it's going to be too salty for my taste buds. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you'll eat it.
I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, I know.
I can hear the slander in your voice, bro.
It's bad, bro.
I hear the slander, but God dang.
Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Hell yeah,
Bruh.
I love that shit. That shit.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Why y'all
I
didn't
haven't
tell
seen
me?
it
Hold up.
yet.
I gotta get on y'all a little bit. No, did you see it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
Of course, I seen
You
it.
saw it and you don't like it, Bobby?
Nigga,
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it.
That's one of the hardest
not.
ones, dog.
Bruh, listen. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna take a couple. Normally, I like to go through these real quick. I
had high hopes. I did.
I gotta talk about this for a second. I'm not gonna give no spoilers.
Yeah.
Bruh, you have got to see that shit, Bobby. Especially if you're a diehard Transformers head like me. Like, I got my wife here watching Transformers from episode 1, season 1, the old cartoon. Like, that's how I get down. You understand? So she can understand the magnificence that is Transformers. We're gonna do the same thing with Thundercats. We're gonna do the same thing with G.I. Joe. We're gonna do all that shit, right? Okay. But first of all, why y'all didn't tell me the director was a brother?
Yeah, you ain't know that?
No, man. And nobody talked about that.
That's why
nobody
that shit's
talked
so
about
hard,
that.
nigga.
Who's the director?
Why you think this was one of the hardest ones, man?
Bruh.
Who's the director?
Hold on,
Wait
let
a
me find
minute.
his name again. Hold on.
Oh, this news to me too.
Rise of the Beast. Because I thought Anthony would have been the number one person to talk about the director was black.
No, when I saw, because I didn't want to do any spoilers because I saw it when it came. And so
That's not a spoiler. The director's black.
Yeah, I went straight to the theaters to go see it because I
It's
don't
Stephen
like to see
Cable Jr.
Transformers at home.
Stephen Cable
Never
Jr.
heard
is
of
his
him.
name.
Okay.
He is a monster. Listen, he wrote Michael Bay's ass a receipt. Bruh. That shit was by far the best Transformers movie.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I had high hopes, man. I did because I remember when I was legit. It wasn't one of the originals, but I remember when I was legit around I think middle school age. That's when they had the whole little mini series, the Transformers Beast Wars.
Yeah,
when they had all the Autobots as animals and dinosaurs and whatever.
Oh, it was crazy.
And I always said I hope they put this on the big screen one day. So when they dropped this, I got excited.
It was nasty, bro. They got it on. It's on Comcast right now. It's only like $5.99, man. Do that shit tonight if you can, bro. Dog, it was special. It was special. Okay, and let me tell you, I'm not gonna give no spoilers, but there's a brother who directed it. It's the best one so far, and this year being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Do you know how much hip hop is in the trend? I'm talking about real hip hop.
Yeah.
There's songs from Illmatic in the Transformers movie, bro. Represent. I was like, who the hell put the music to this shit?
Man, don't do that. The tears gonna come in my eye, but don't do that.
Yo, Cream is in the movie.
Man, don't do that.
Cream is in the movie, bruh.
Don't do that,
It's
man.
sick.
They got
It's
the Whoop,
sick.
they got Nas, they got dog. I think, did he put Doom in there? I thought I might have heard Doom. I'm not sure.
You might have heard Doom. They got LL in there. I mean,
MF
like,
Doom? No, stop
bruh.
playing.
I mean, not him, but his music.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sick.
The music.
And you remember that controversy that came out with RC? Oh, she's a trans.
Oh, yeah.
There was no fucking controversy. There was no RC was a regular ass robot. I guess they just said that to make people talk, or maybe to satisfy, some of the weirdos and their little agendas and shit or whatever. But there was none of that. There's no transsexual robot in the movie. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Unless
This
they
shit
last
was
minute
hard.
pulled it for the. Either way, that's what's up.
No, I think
shit was hard.
They just said it just to include people to go see it if they want to identify with it, so they don't feel like they're out of it. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
More of a bait clip.
Well played.
Man, that shit was epic. It's the best movie I've seen in the last 3 years or so, bro. Like maybe 5. That shit was off the chain. Boom.
Right.
I got some homework. There's
Boom.
a couple we got to see now.
Next up
Go
is
ahead.
NBA Youngboy. Nah, I'm good off him.
Hell no.
No.
I don't like him. I can't stand him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of these cats that he's another merchant of death. I'll pass. You know what I'm saying? He raps okay, but
Keith
hell
Sweat.
no. Hell yeah.
Keith Sweat?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Make it last forever.
Ever. That's the guy, man.
I love his music, but I appreciate so much more his involvement, man. There's so many songs he's produced, written. He's one of those dudes where even if you don't necessarily like his songs per se, you can't possibly like the air of music without liking him, because if he ain't your favorite, then he's your favorite's favorite. Whoever's your favorite artist from back then, he had a hand. He did a song or two for him. They wouldn't be who they are without Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat is definitely an OG and a legend.
Agreed. A legend among legends.
He is the '90s, damn it. He is '90s R&B, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried about him though, because I was worried when they started taking out R. Kelly and stuff like that, because he has that song where he's like, "You may be young, but you're ready."
Yeah.
Hold on, man.
I remember when that came out.
Yeah,
I remember when that came out because I remember going back on those lyrics like, Keith, bro, don't tell me there's anything here now. I remember that, yeah.
Oh gosh,
I think Keith's gonna be all right though. He ain't never been out there doing it though.
Yeah. He'll be all right. Last but not least, Amanda Seales.
Amanda Seales, hell no. Hell to the goddamn no. No.
Absolutely
never. Yes.
No. That does it for this week's Hell Yeah, Hell Nah. So definitely going to get into our last segment of the night, which is Crown Check. And I'm going to let Major do the honors for this night's Crown Check, because he's the one who found her. And that is Shaquina McKenzie become the first Black female judge in the city of Macomb, Mississippi at age 28.
I mean, that just says it all right there. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, first African female judge in the city. We are greatly lacking. When I posted this, sister, it was mainly because, again, the age, Black female excellence, that's a given, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, Mississippi kind of jumped out at me because we are greatly lacking. We always talk about how we don't get justice.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always say to brothers and sisters when they're complaining about the fact that we don't get justice is that more of us need to be involved in the justice system, in the legal system. We need more Black cops. We need more Black judges. We need more Black prosecutors, attorneys, so forth and so on. We need that. everybody is not going to be a successful rapper or athlete. Sorry. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we sure as hell don't need sisters trying to be, the next get it girl on the pole. So, for this sister to have accomplished such a great feat in, Mississippi of all places, you know what I'm saying? That's something that we definitely need from where I sit. That name, that Shaquina McKenzie, that's a FBA sister at the end of the day. And, some mention was made of, the fact that she gave a nod to Kamala Harris as the first black.
Yeah.
I don't think, though, just, understanding FBA culture, I don't think, or I definitely hope that she wasn't stating, that she would govern or that she would judge in the same type of capacity or whatever the case may be, but more so the first black, to the black person, female in this position type of thing. And the sister, seems like a very together sister. I've read up on her quite a bit. I went to law because I did not want to talk about what was not being done. I did not want to sit there and dwell on the negativity. I asked myself what I could do to help out the world, is what she said. And that really jumped out at me. You understand what I'm saying? She says she hopes that she can give hope. She says she also hopes that she can give hope to other young women as well. You know what I'm saying? And that is the thing that jumped out at me and made me really want to bring her in. See, look at that beautiful family right there. Bring her in and highlight her, because this is she puts it where the goats can get it. She's very upfront about the fact that, she wants to serve and help her community. And she wants to be an inspiration to other people, to other young black women to come up and do what she did. And she wants to make a difference in the community so that we can start about the business of replacing the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. What better way to do than to have more sisters on the bench? I think Dr. Frances Cress Wilson will be proud of her. So, yeah, shout out to our sister. That's what's up. I love to see that, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, look at that beautiful black family right there. You can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sister Shaquina, and her name is Shaquina. She got queen in her name, bruh.
Yeah.
You dig?
Did you do the research on the last name McKenzie? You said she's FBA?
I don't know if she's FBA for sure, but the first name is what tipped me off, actually.
No. Yes, she might be FBA. He might not be, because the only reason I'm saying that is because my grandmother on my dad's side, who is Jamaican, is McKenzie. That's why I said that. So she's married to him, and I'm pretty sure she took his last name. So he might be non-FBA, and she might be FBA.
Could be. Yeah, could very well be, because you're right. That Irish name can come from anywhere. Could be Jamaican or another islander, Englishman. It could be from anywhere. Yeah. But I'm gonna find out.
I definitely know some Jamaican Mackenzies, but either way, big ups to the sister. That's huge. Getting the position alone is one thing, but to be able to get that so early in the game, not even 30 yet, that all by itself is she don't have to tell me the story. Just the fact that she's there at 28, I know that was a long, hard, difficult road. I know there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of passes, a lot of other things that popped up in her path. So for her to be able to overcome all that, come out on the other side shining, glowing, glossing, and now she stepped into that black robe. Salute her. We need another Olu Stevens out there. We need a solid judge out there that we can definitely depend on, who is truly fair, unbiased, impartial, and actually lives up to the creed of what the justice system is supposed to be, and actually administers justice. Because we know it's an injustice system, but we need some brothers and sisters in there who can actually do their jobs, take it seriously, where unfortunately their other peers don't, and actually seek to administer justice and fairness, and really uphold the laws as they're listed. So Big up to the sister. May she have a long, healthy, prosperous career on the bench. And big ups to her family. Much strength to her husband for supporting her, holding her down, and doing his thing. And big ups to those beautiful children as well too. May they grow to be healthy, strong,
Real
and
talk.
may they be inspired and recognize the significance of uh, what's happening in their family.
Real talk.
Definitely.
And just so you know, it doesn't mention by name where each of her parents were from, but it
Yeah.
does say that she's African American. It mentions both her parents'
Yes.
names.
Correct. I would believe that. I just think that non-FBA comes from him because she took his last name. So Mackenzie is definitely on my side, my dad's side of the family, a whole bunch of Mackenzies. So that's why I ringed off when it said Mackenzie. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it could be, but I know a Haitian dude named Mackenzie too. But Mackenzie could come from anywhere. They're Black American
Yeah.
Mackenzies as well.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's why I asked that because that hit home for me as far as my family, Mackenzie. So that's why I asked.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so definitely we had a great show tonight. I'm glad everybody's up late with us and been hanging out with us, giving you guys great information. Remember, next week we have another dope guest. I'm excited to have him. He's talking about mental health. Also, he's an author and a relationship coach. So it should be dope, should be very good. And look out for that and be with us next week. And remember, tell a friend to tell a friend. And on that note, we're out of here. You guys have anything you want to say for 2 minutes, real quick, before we go out?
Yes, I definitely do. Let me go ahead and get with it real quick. I actually wrote it down. I just want to reiterate one time, shout out to our sister Mila Renee. She's getting married to our brother Amun. Or I think she pronounces it Amun. Whatever y'all do, however y'all pronounce it, whatever the case may be, because most people pronounce it Amun, but that's okay. I am overjoyed for them. I wish them all the success. I hope they're together for a million years and reincarnate, find each other again. That is so dope. So shout out to them for them getting engaged. Last night, y'all, I went to the ladies and gentlemen dinner that our good sister Felicia Forbes throws every few months or so. It was an exceptional experience. I had a great time. It was turned. It was lit. The food was good. It was on the water. It was exclusive. It was popping. And you know what? It was a dope celebration of Black love. So shout out to our sister for that event. That was dope. That was really fly. Also, earlier in the day yesterday, I went on the Change Tomorrow Today podcast. Now, that's my brother Ralph. I don't know if y'all know him. I don't know if y'all know this guy Ralph, who used to call himself T-Lou.
I was looking for that. I was looking for that earlier, but I don't think they posted it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link to the podcast. They're not gonna post it up until this Friday coming.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I was on there. I did a fly ass little interview. It was great. The energy was great. Love those brothers to life. Shout out to the Change Tomorrow Today podcast. Even the name is dope, and there's some very progressive and forward-thinking brothers there. It was a wonderful experience. And also, my mom's got a new place, man, and I went to go check it out a little earlier today. I had a very busy weekend. Went to go check out my mom's new digs today. Man, my mom's place is popping, bro. Like, it's so dope. Big ass place, and you got everything over there. They got the pond and the bowling alley and I mean, it's just thick. It's ridiculous, and I'm like, this lady's never going to run out of stuff to do. Like, got a little pool hall up in there, the table tennis joint, and it was just so fly, So shout out to moms, and shout out to our guest tonight, Dietrich Harrison, right?
Harrington.
Dietrich Harrington. I kept saying that. That brother was crazy informative tonight. And please, guys, we talk about this type of stuff, and I'm gonna start doing this regularly. We talk about this type of stuff. I want to make sure I put it out there tonight. Don't just talk about it, man. Be about it. Walk the walk. Get out there, do the work. If you know that you're out of shape, You understand what I'm saying? And you know that you need to work on things. Your health is being impacted. Your quality of life is being impacted. Get up off your ass and get out there and do it. I'm just saying, anything that we talk about, don't just talk about it, man. These are action items. Every time we come to have these conversations with y'all, we're speaking things to you that are action items. We want you to take what we're saying, internalize it, and put some work behind what we're talking to you about. So I'll land my plane there.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So yeah, just to keep the ball rolling back to the original subject and focus of the evening. Um, look, not a single one of us gets a second life. We don't do that. As far as any of us know, once you drop down dead, that's it. There's no sequel. Um, some people believe there's something afterwards. Some people don't. But either way, the life that we're talking about right now, where we're here in the flesh, you get one of those. You get one body to do it in. So there's no instruction manual that you get for it necessarily, but the duration of your life is basically learning on the job. But one thing we do know is that the better shape your body is in, the better health that you're in, the longer the life you have, and the better quality of life that you have. Stop cheating and shortchanging yourself. There's a slew of benefits that you get just based off your health. If nothing else, you literally are a happier person when you're healthy and in shape. Literally, when you exercise, when you work out, endorphins are released. That's those hormones that result in feeling good, feeling happy, feeling positive, feeling confident.
Mm-hmm.
You literally, I mean, you might feel like you're in hell while you're working out once you're recovering, but during the process, you feel better about yourself. You got people that's doing all kind of crazy stuff. They stay on a bottle, they stay lighting up blunts, whatever, to manage stress. You don't have to do any of those things, or you can at least at best supplement those things. Get your ass in the gym, exercise. Again, exercise, working out, getting in shape, getting healthy, getting fit. It is one of the few things in this life that has a 100% satisfaction rate. I've never heard anyone say they regret getting healthy.
Real talk.
Never. I've heard a whole ton of people say they wish they did it a lot sooner. Do
Real
it
talk.
for yourself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and nowadays, back in the day, it was harder to do, but nowadays it's so easy. Like D was talking about, there's all kind of programs online. There's all kind of DVDs. Netflix has fitness programs on now. There's all kind of boot camps everywhere. There's gyms on every corner, just about.
No
Um,
excuses.
there's all kind of influencers on TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube. You can't sneeze without bumping into something. Do it for yourself. And it's hard to start at first, but get people involved. Go join a class.
Mm-hmm.
Go do a spinning class. Go do a yoga class. Take a martial arts, whatever. Get a friend. Get your one of your children. Get your brother, your sister. Get your significant other. Get your homegirl. Get a coworker that you can actually stand. Go and do something together.
Right.
But however you do, whatever does you do, just go out and do it. Do it for yourself. And remember, you have to build the habit, get in the discipline shape. Going out to get surgery is not enough, whether it's a BBL or if it's liposuction. Understand that obesity, they may not listen to such, but obesity is a mental illness first.
Mm.
It is a mental illness. Why is it a mental illness? Because assuming that you didn't come out of the womb this oversized person, you basically over the course of your life have watched yourself get bigger and bigger and bigger. You've seen as your size keeps expanding, you have to keep on getting new pants, new skirts, new outfits because the old ones don't fit. You see yourself getting bigger. You feel the adverse effects. You can't move as well as you did. You're more out of shape. When you go to your physical, your doctor's saying, "Hey, this is a concern," or what have you. You're more tired. You don't rest as well. You don't breathe as well as you should. You're having other issues related. You're literally watching these things happening. You're watching your health and your outcomes decreasing, and yet you're still continuing. If you were to see yourself in a car reversing or driving towards a cliff, you wouldn't just keep on driving or just letting the car drift. You'd say, hey, let me go ahead and slam the brakes on, or better yet, put it in reverse or get away from the cliff.
Yeah.
So for you to see these things that you're not thrilled about, you're not happy about, and still going in that direction, that means that there's something there. So surgery isn't going to fix that. There are people who've had lap band procedures. They've had different surgeries. And within a few years, not only are they right back there, but they're actually worse than when they got a surgery because they fixed the physical portion, but they didn't address this.
Mm.
When you get in the gym, when you get that discipline, when you hold yourself accountable, when you start exercising, when you start eating better, you are literally retraining your brain also to think differently. You're changing habits. You're breaking curses, generational curses. You're breaking old, outdated habits and replacing them with new, better ones.
Yes.
Those are the changes that matter. So you're going to always be in shape because you have the habit of exercise. You don't feel right when you miss the gym.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't eat well, you miss and eat some junk that you know you shouldn't be having. You feel sick the next day because your body rejects it, because your body likes that good stuff now. I don't like that
Mm-hmm.
habit garbage whack stuff no more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts within. Start making the changes within, and you're gonna start getting the external results. So go ahead, do it for yourself, and your family will thank you. Your children will thank you. Your loved ones will thank you. You will thank you.
Real talk.
Get your ass up and go get it.
There it is.
Definitely. All right, so that's been 2 words said for the day. I don't need to address anything. They said it for me. Tune in next week, man. We could definitely have a dope show again for you guys. All right. And on that note, peace. Be out.
Yay. All right.
Like, subscribe, share.
Aha.
All day, every day.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.